Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And once more. No, this is not a caprice. It is a thoughtful precaution. Fill your lungs well now, for you will be holding your breath for the next 30 minutes as you live through The Long Night with Frank Lovejoy, a tale well calculated to keep you in
Suspense.
This is United 404, 10,000 over outer range. Request lower altitude, over.
United 404, this is Rockford Tower. Maintain present altitude until further advised, over.
United 404, roger, Rockford, over and out.
Rockford Radio, this is Delta 318, over.
Delta 318, this is Rockford Radio, go ahead.
Delta 318, request permission for gradient approach. I'm over Milford Hills at 4,000, over.
Delta 318, straight
You stand in the
approach
airport
granted.
control tower 90 feet up in the sky over Rockford Field, waiting to go on the night watch. And you listen to the babble of voices that fill the crowded room in an endless series of requests. Requests for altitude change, request for landing
Rockford Tower,
permission,
all
request
aircraft.
for the weather.
Here is the 9 o'clock weather. Low, straightest clouds over the entire Mississippi Valley, spreading out over the central states. Visibility 2 miles, ceiling 2,200 feet and lowering steadily. Smoke
Clouds,
and haze,
smoke,
low
haze,
cloud
and
ceiling.
fog, and a ceiling getting lower every minute. You look out through the tinted glass windows into the misty night, and you think of the strangers overhead, in and above the clouds. And you wonder if they, too, feel the hush as the long night begins. You wonder if the strangers, with the throb of engines and the harsh rasp of many voices in their ears, can feel the stillness. You look around the tower room, you look and you listen to the voices, and you're glad every time a ship touches down safely on the long, light-lined runways.
Okay, Brother Ken, you can have it. For me, it's been a long day.
Traffic been heavy?
It started sort of slow, but it's building up. I got 3 converging on the outer marker and 2 inbound on the range. It's all here on the board for you.
Yeah, okay.
We're beginning to stack up over Chicago, but that's their worry.
Yeah, and they can have it.
Yeah. Well, happy landings, man.
Yeah, so long, Charlie.
Night, Charlie.
Rockford Tower, this is TWA Flight 70, requesting weather your field, over.
Hello, TWA 70. This is Rockford. We have straightest clouds, ceiling of 2,000, visibility under 2 miles. Smoke, haze, and fog on the ground, over.
What is your traffic there, Rockford?
5 inbound inside the 20-mile range, 1 Convair and 2 DC-7s outbound on the red, over.
Okay, Rockford, this is TWA 70, requesting change of flight plan to land your field instead of Chicago.
Roger, TWA. I'll notify Chicago and clear you in. Give us a call when you pass the Milburn Hills. Rockford out.
Roger, thanks very much.
Give Chicago a call, Mike. Tell them their Flight 70 is terminating here.
Okay, Ken, we'll do. Hello, Chicago. Rockford Radio.
Rockford Tower, this is Beechcraft Bonanza N91457.
Hello, Beechcraft N91457. This is Rockford Tower.
I've been homing on your range, and apparently my automatic direction finder isn't working right. I think I'm lost.
Stand by, 457. Check the flight file, will you, Mike? See if he's on it.
All right.
Hello, Rockford. Are you hearing me, Rockford? If you are, please give me a call.
This is Rockford. We're reading you fine, Beach. Hold on a second. Find anything on it, Mike?
Nope, there's nothing here, Ken. No flight plan.
Okay. Hello, Beechcraft N91457. This is Rockford Tower. What seems to be the trouble with your ADF?
I don't know exactly, Rockford. I'm not too familiar with this equipment. But I don't think it's working right because I've been changing from one range to another just like I was told to, and I ought to have been somewhere over Minneapolis long ago, and I'm not.
All right, Beechcraft, we'll work something out for you. Where are you flying from?
Indianapolis.
Headed on a direct flight to Minneapolis?
That's right, Rockford. I set my automatic direction finder just exactly the way I was told to when they installed it.
Did you make any visual checks against what your ADF showed?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Did you check your course when you passed over the airways range stations by looking at visual ground objects like signs on the top of oil tanks telling you what city you were over, anything like that?
No, I'm afraid I didn't. I thought my ADF was working, so I didn't think about anything else.
Okay. Now, what was your last known position?
Well, I'm trying to think. I guess the last time I positively knew where I was when I departed Indianapolis.
What time was that?
About 5:30, maybe 5:45.
5:30? Verify that time. That would be more than 3 hours en route. You should be well out of my range.
Yeah, I know. But I've been circling for more than an hour, trying to make the ADF work and looking for Rockford.
What is your remaining fuel supply?
Well, I guess there's no use kidding myself. I think I've got about 45 minutes, maybe at the very best, an hour.
Well, here is the situation. The weather here is solid overcast at 600, visibility 1 mile in smoke and haze. Do you see any towns, rivers, highways that you can identify?
No, I can't see anything but clouds. I'm on top.
Holy smoke, did I hear that right?
Yes, you did. Beechcraft, did you say you were on top?
That's right, on top of a solid layer. Have been for a long time.
At what altitude?
I'm at 5,000 indicated, about 1,000 above the clouds.
457, take a good look around you. Are there any breaks in the overcast? Can you see any holes, any thin spots in the area at all?
No, it's solid. It's a completely solid layer.
Are you an instrument pilot?
What do you mean?
I mean, are you checked out on instruments? Do you have instrument training?
No, I've never been on instruments in my life. I'm just lost.
You look at the clock, 9:04. You look at the clock and mentally give yourself 45 minutes. 45 minutes to find him, bring him in, and get him on the ground. You check the latest weather chart and you don't like what you see. Your mouth feels dry. You reach for a cigarette as you punch the mic button and do the next thing that must be done. Rockford Tower, to all planes working this frequency, we have an emergency. Repeat, we have an emergency. Please maintain radio silence on this frequency until further notice. Out. Rockford Tower to Beechcraft, N91457. Come in, 457.
Okay, Rockford.
Tell me, how did you get on top?
Well, it was almost clear when I left Indianapolis. I climbed straight out to 5,000, and later, while I was trying to get the ADF working, I found myself on top. It just happened.
Yes. Are you familiar with range orientation?
No, I don't know anything about that either. I'm just a businessman with a new airplane. I know only enough about the radio to tune in the stations. I know I'm lost, though, and need help. These gas tanks aren't getting any fuller.
Yes, I know, 457. I understand. Sure, you understand, but he doesn't. He knows he's lost and he needs help. He understands that. But he doesn't know what the odds are on getting him straightened out and over the field and then getting him down through that solid layer of clouds. You fight down a sudden urge to push the microphone button and scream at him. To tell him that nobody forced him into an airplane he hardly knew how to fly. Nobody forced him to take off on a long night cross-country in weather suitable only for experienced professionals. But you know there's no time for hindsight. There's hardly any time for hopes. So you push the black button and you try to sound calm. Hello, 457. This is Rockford Tower. Now, listen to me carefully. Are you reading me okay?
Yeah. Hello, Rockford. I'm hearing you fine. Loud and clear.
All right. Now I'm going to try to get a fix on you. But before I do, I want you to know what the situation is. I'm sure I can find you. I'm reasonably sure I can get you over the airport before you're out of fuel. I am not sure, though, that we can get you on the ground. Do you understand?
No, I don't understand. I'm lost and I'm about out of gas and I don't understand why we're wasting time talking about it. You get me over an airport and then we'll worry about getting on the ground.
All right, but you understand this. It's my job to help find you. It's my job to help you find the airport, and I'll do everything I can to get you on the ground. But flying that airplane through those clouds will be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. Do you understand that?
Okay, I understand. Now, what are we going to do?
Now, we're going to orient you by radio and bring you in over the Rockford Airport. I will tell you what must be done, but you have got to do it. I can't fly your airplane for you. Do you understand?
Yeah, okay, Rockford. I understand.
You know the standard procedures for range orientation. You've run over every step of them 1,000,000 times for just this kind of emergency. That's one of the reasons you're up here in this modern Tower of Babel on these long nights. But you've got 2 strikes against you on this one. Time, you read the clock at 9:07, and a fool in an airplane. Mike.
Yeah, Ken.
Get Chicago Control Center on the horn. Ask them to set up an alert of all facilities within 100 miles.
Roger.
You better get them to clear all altitudes in the area below 6,000 feet.
Okay, we'll do.
You know, I don't know whether to try to get him down through the clouds now and then try to bring him in, or whether to get him over us on top and then let him down where we won't lose radio contact if he gets too low.
Well, it's souped up all across the valley, Ken. You might get him down through it, but if he's too far out, he'd have no chance of getting here under the ceiling.
Yeah, and if I don't get him started at something, he'll be out of fuel anyway, and it won't matter. I'm going to bring him in on top.
Okay, I'll check weather very closely, Ken. If I hear of any breaks, I'll give it to you.
Good, thank you. Hello, 457, this is Rockford Tower.
Yeah, okay, Rockford.
I'm going to speak very distinctly, and if you don't understand any part of what I tell you, come in and break me off. It's vital that you understand me. Is that clear?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Now, I want you to listen very closely to my range signal. Put everything else out of your mind. Listen and describe exactly what you hear.
Okay. Hello, Rockford. I hear a code sound. Is that the range?
That's right. What does it sound like?
Well, it goes da-dit, da-dit.
Okay, 457. Now, is it loud or soft?
It's pretty loud.
Okay, that's the N quadrant. Now, I want you to tune to the Madison, Wisconsin range and tell me what you hear.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, hello, Rockford. I've got the Madison range.
What does it say?
It's just like the other, only backwards. Dida. Dida.
That's right.
I can hardly hear it, but it's there all right.
Yeah, okay, 457. That's the A quadrant. Now I want you to try Peoria and then Chicago. Rockford, Madison, Peoria, Chicago. 4 corners to check from. 4 radio sounds that you hope he's reading correctly. You finish the check and he comes through without a bobble, and you know you have him fixed. You know at least his direction from you. You take a deep breath, and for the first time you feel a tiny flicker of hope that you're going to find your stranger and get him in all right. But you're a long way from home, and you light another cigarette and push the black microphone button hard. Now listen carefully, 457. I'm going to run a check procedure on you. I want you to take up a northeast heading, turn your volume down as low as you can, and still receive my range signal. At the very moment you detect a change in signal strength, either higher or lower, advise me.
All right, Rockford. I'll do my best. I'm not sure that I'm not at all sure.
Hello, 457. Can you hear me? Do you hear me, Beechcraft 457?
Rockford. Yes, I read you now. I lost you for a second, but I hear your range signal now.
Did you get all of my last transmission?
Yeah, I think so. I think I can do it. Hello, Rockford. My gauges indicate empty tanks. There's some gas left, I know, but I have no idea how much. Do you know where I am?
I'm quite sure of your direction from me, and I believe I know how far out you are within, say, 20 miles. If what you've told me is correct, I estimate you have 30 minutes fuel remaining. I believe your gauges are indicating normally. Now, try to concentrate on doing just what I've told you to do.
Yeah, okay, Rockford. I don't want you to think I'm ungrateful. I realize you can't afford mistakes. But I can't last much longer. I'm not trying to hurry you, but the gauges say empty, and my son is getting sick.
You didn't say anything about having any passengers aboard. How many are there of you?
Just my son and me.
Is the air rough? Is there turbulence?
No the air is smooth.
But you said your son is getting sick.
Yes. You see, he's only 9, and he's getting scared. That's what's making him sick.
You don't say anything for a long minute. You just stare out into the miserable night, and your thoughts are not nice. You think of your own kid, and you thank God he's home safely in bed. And you know now, if you didn't know it before, that you've got to bring these strangers home. You reach for the microphone button, but before you push it, the voice is back
What's
on your
happened, Rockford? I can't hear you anymore. Did you hear me? I was talking to you and you didn't answer. Hello, Rockford. Come in, please.
I'm reading you. 457, I heard everything you said. Now listen to me carefully. You should be approaching my west course close into the station. I want you to listen closely and describe any change in your signal. I won't call you. You call me when you hear anything change.
Okay, Rockford. Hello, Rockford. The signal is much louder now, and I'm getting more of a continuous tone in my earphones, although I can still hear that other signal.
All right, 457. That's fine. That's good. Now, listen carefully. Turn your volume down a little more. And when you no longer hear that other signal, and when the continuous tone is loud and clear, and when you hear nothing but the continuous tone, at that time I want you to turn right to a heading of 93 degrees magnetic. Is that clear?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? You've got to know so. When you hear nothing but a tone, when there's nothing but a loud buzz in your ears, I want you to turn right to 93 degrees on your compass. Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand. Turn right to 93 degrees on the compass when I hear a loud tone.
That's correct.
The tone is strong now. I don't hear the other signal. Nothing but the tone. Shall I...
Yes, turn right, turn to 93 degrees and advise.
Advise?
Advise when on course, when on 93 degrees, advise.
Roger. Advise when I'm on course now, on 93.
All right, good.
Chicago Control Center has everything cleared on the 6000. They're monitoring the calls, too.
Okay, Mike, thanks a lot. What's the time?
9:40, straight up.
9:40? That's 12 minutes to make it in. Hello, 457. You're approaching the range now. You're almost over the station. The range is about 2 miles from where I'm sitting. The signal you hear will continue to increase in volume until you cross the range. At that time, it will fade out quickly. For a moment, you may hear nothing. Then it will increase again rapidly. Now, at the very instant your signal fades, I want you to make an immediate left turn to a heading of 45 degrees magnetic. Take that heading and advise. Understand?
I understand.
Mike, get on the phone and alert the local police and fire departments. Tell them what we've got and to be on the lookout for a fast move.
Roger.
Get all the lights on in the field, the runway markers. When we get him down through this, he won't have any time to spend looking for the field.
Okay, will do.
That is, if we get him down through it. You light another cigarette. You watch the clock on the desk. You try to keep your mind clear, to think ahead, to think of everything that can possibly happen, and the waiting is worse than anything yet. You keep reaching for that microphone, wanting to call him to ask him why he doesn't tell you he's over the range. And you know he hasn't called you because he isn't over the range yet. And you wait, and you wait. And then it comes loud and clear.
Rockford, I'm over the range and starting a turn. It's just like you said. It's exactly the way you said it would be.
Roger, 457. You're doing fine. Now come left to 45, straight and level. Hold it until I tell you different. I'll call you back.
I think you got him, Ken.
Well, if he's where he ought to be, we should hear him in about 20 seconds. I'm going out the platform and listen. Call me if he calls in.
Okay.
You stand on the steel grating of that tower platform and you try to hear over the sounds from the field below. You strain your ears for a sound that should come to you out of the southwest. And you've never wanted to hear anything so much in your life. And then you hold your breath. You stop breathing to hear better. And it's there. A single engine singing a quiet, sweet sound and approaching directly on course. You flick your burning cigarette out into the black space and stumble back into the tower room. You grab the mic and you almost shout into it. 457, 457, this is Rockford. You're over the field. I hear you clearly. Start a 360 turn immediately and orbit in your present area.
Beginning of 360. For God's sake, tell me what to do. This engine is ready to quit.
You snap a look at the clock. 9:46. 5, maybe 6 minutes more if you're lucky. 6 minutes at the outside to get him lined up properly for a straight-in approach, to talk him down through 4,000 feet of solid clouds. 6 minutes to bring off a miracle. You waste 15 precious seconds debating the best way to do it. All along up to now, you've planned it this way. A good, steady, full-scale power approach, nose up a little, flaps down just enough, power on exactly right. Your mind has told you that this was the ticket, the only answer. With a good, steady airplane, no turbulence to speak of, well-trimmed and hands off, he might just make it. He might. But suddenly, you're not sure. Maybe if he could pull his power, slow her down, trim her slow and steady, a touch of flaps, that might be the answer. That might do it. It would save precious gas. If he missed his approach or he goofed up in the clouds, he could get back on top for another try. Maybe. You push the microphone button hard and try to sound calm. 457, I hear you plainly. You're circling the airport. There isn't time to talk this out. You'll have to do exactly what I tell you the first time and do it right. There simply isn't time enough. Oh, wait a minute. Do you have chutes? Do you have parachutes aboard?
No. No parachutes.
All right, 457, we'll have to do it this way. Now listen to what I have to say. You don't have to talk, just listen. Come around to a due west heading, due west. As you do, start slowing her down. Slow her down and trim her up for a power approach. A normal power approach, do you understand?
I understand, Rockford.
Don't talk to me. Bring her around, head west with the power on. Slow her down, flaps down to approach position. Trim her up, make her steady. Advise when you're headed west and slow down. 10, 15, 20. Where is he? Where is 25? 457, are you there? 457?
I'm trying to get her steady. I'm trying to do what you told me.
All right, 457, don't talk. Advise when on course.
Rockford, I'm on 270 now. Slowing down. I don't know. I just don't know.
I know you don't know. All we can do is try.
I understand. I'm down to 80 now. Flaps down and power on.
Roger. Continue trimming her. Trim her down good. Adjust your power and trim her until she's descending at a steady 500 feet per minute. That's 500 per minute. Trim her good, do you understand? Trim her so good that she will let down at 500 feet per minute with your hands off. Do you get that? With your hands off.
I understand.
Now, 457, you're going to bring her around very slowly and precisely to an east heading. You're going to handle her very gently so she won't fall off on you flying so slow. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Let her continue to settle at 500 feet a minute. Just bring her around slowly to the east, recover, and then take your hands off the controls.
She won't fly with my hands off.
She will fly. She'll fly better than you can. Now listen to me. When you are eastbound, hands off. She will descend slowly into the clouds. After you're in the clouds, do not touch the controls.
I don't think I...
Then don't think, do as I tell you. Now, when you get in the clouds, everything will change for you. You will think the airplane is all wrong, that it's doing everything that it shouldn't do. If you leave it alone, it will start a slow spiral to the left, but I don't think it'll be enough to do any harm until you've broken out under the ceiling. Now, whatever it does, you will think it's going to the right or up or down or even spinning. But it won't be doing any of those things unless you make it do them. Now, don't touch it. Now, are you eastbound?
I'm eastbound, yes.
Take your hands off the controls.
But I...
Take your hands off now.
Okay. Hands are off.
Now, let her have it. Let her fly herself.
Ken, the ceiling's under 600 feet. That doesn't give him much time to recover and get his bearings when he breaks out.
Oh, but it's all we can do. It's all anybody can do. You sit there waiting, only too aware of what can be happening in the cabin of Beechcraft 457, sweating out each second of time with a terrified pilot and his deathly scared kid. You wonder if this man, this stranger, and yet no longer a stranger, can keep his fantasies under control for that long letdown. The lonely, long letdown through total darkness with nothing but a great fear for a companion. A minute goes by, and another, and then...
Rockford! Rockford! It's turning, Rockford! Turning! Airspeed's high! It's going higher!
Get off those controls. Cut the throttle.
I've got the throttle closed. She's slowing down fast. I can't see. I can't...
Well, she's going to stall. Give her the throttle. Slowly. Keep your hands off except the throttle. She'll climb back out on top if you keep your hands off her. 2 minutes wasted, more than 2 minutes because he couldn't believe what you told him. You had him and then you lost him. And now, if the teacup of gas still in his tanks holds out, if he gets back on top, you still have it to do all over again. You begin to feel the long night closing in on you. He's almost calm when he calls you back this time. You can almost hear his sigh of relief.
Hello, Rockford. I'm back on top now.
Good. Maybe we have time for one more try. Now, let's try it with the power off this time. You may lose your engine before you can get...
It's no use, Rockford. It's just no use. I can't do it. I was fine until I got into those clouds. I just couldn't sit there and do nothing. I just couldn't. I know I can't do it again.
Listen, there's time. There's time for another try.
Forget it. The engine just quit. That's it, Rockford.
Well, you can still do it.
Forget it. You're wasting your time. I just want to say thanks for trying.
Hello, 457. Hello. Hello, Beach. Hello, 457.
He can't hear you. His hands froze to the mic.
Yeah. You better hit the crash button.
Roger.
Rockford Tower to all planes awaiting landing instructions. The emergency is over. Normal radio procedure is now in effect. Rockford, over and out.
Rockford Radio, Delta 216, rest.
WWII 70, request permission to flight time.
Suspense, in which Frank Lovejoy starred in The Long Night, adapted by Sam Pierce from the Atlantic Monthly story by Lowell D. Blanton. Listen. Listen again next week when radio's outstanding theater of thrills brings you another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Suspense is produced and directed in Hollywood by William N. Robeson Included in tonight's cast were Stacey Harris, Byron Kane, Court Falkenberg, Sam Pierce, and Jack Crucian. The original musical score was composed and conducted by Paul Barron. Sound patterns by Ray Kemper and Bill James.
With Jack Benny and his gang back on the air each Sunday, there's just no excuse for a frown. Later on today and every Sunday, get in on the fun on the lighthearted Jack Benny Show. It's always a joy to hear. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News, to be followed over most of these same stations by Indictment.
Target sighted, Skipper.
Sighted? I should think so. It's like a fun fair down there. Right. Bomb doors open.
Bomb selected and fused.
Fighter, starboard quarter.
Right, stop it.
Hurry, the port engines!
Death Kiss Kate, a play for radio by Max Markey, with Martin Jarvis as Peter and Kate Coleridge as Sally. Death Kiss Kate.
Hi. Quite a decent pub, this.
Yes, most of the squadron prefer this one.
Oh, the beer's not bad, either.
Another one?
No, thanks.
Ron?
No thanks, sir.
Look, Ron, when it's shop, it's Sir or Squadron Leader Locker. Off duty, in the mess, or a pub, or anywhere, it's Ben, right?
Right.
Evening, Ben. Hello.
Hello, George. Good leave. This is George Relton, our gunnery leader. And the squadron's oldest inhabitant. Some new bods have just joined us, George. The skipper?
I'm Peter Draycott. How do you do?
Hello.
Oh, this is our navigator, Ron Chiswell.
Hello.
Hi. Well, it's your second tour, I take it, Peter. I mean, you being a flight Louis with a gong.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, only him, though. We were a headless crew. Our original skipper wrote himself off in a car prang at OTU.
Oh, tough.
Well, I'm off.
Oh, it's my shout. Won't you have another?
No, thanks. And don't let your lot get too sloshed tonight. I'll be giving you all a flying check tomorrow.
Right, cheers. Cheers.
Have you done much flying in Lancasters, Peter?
Yes, I did my first tour in them, in Lincolnshire. First time I've been up to Yorkshire. Same again, Ron.
Thanks.
You, George?
Oh, wacko, pint of bitter.
3 pints of bitter, then. Right.
You know, that's one thing about this place. They'll always find glasses for aircrew. The rest of your crew here, are they?
Oh, only me and the skip. The other 5 decided to stay behind and sort out their gear and that.
Well, you can tell them you found the best pub in Yorkshire. Well, that is when you can get a drink.
Peter seems to have managed all right. Do you want a hand, Skip?
No, it's all right, thanks. They're on their way. Right. Thanks so much, I've got them. Thank you. I say, I'm awfully sorry. Has any gone on your dress?
No.
You're quite sure? Because if it has...
Quite sure. The glass was nearly empty anyway.
I really am sorry. At least let me get you another drink. What was it?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it does matter. I knocked it over. It's up to me to get you another drink.
Forget it.
Oh. Well, there's no need to be like that. It was an accident. I've said I'm sorry.
So, you're sorry. Apology accepted. Well, let's just leave it, shall we?
Yes. As you like. Here we are, chaps.
Thanks.
Cheers, Ron. George.
Cheers. Drake Charm seems to have flopped a bit there, Skip, didn't it?
Oh, what do you mean?
He was trying to chat up that Popsy, and she properly shot him down in flames.
Which one?
Oh, that one, but... Oh, well, she's gone.
Oh, I couldn't see her from here. What was she like?
Not bad. Quite good, actually. She had super hair. A sort of, Titian.
Dark ginger.
He doesn't know anything about art, but he knows what he likes.
What are you on about?
Oh, no, nothing, just a joke.
Was her hair pulled back behind her ears with plain gold earrings?
Oh, yes.
Ah, that's Death Kiss Kate.
Death Kiss what?
Death Kiss Kate. Everybody round here knows her. Get to bed with her, and that's your lot.
I should reckon so.
No, not like that. You sleep with her, and the next trip it's the chop.
You're not serious?
Well, I don't know about you, but I reckon the chop's pretty serious, all right. I tell you, she's a jinx.
Oh, now come off it.
No, it's Jen. She's done it to 3 types on the trot. Fred Allison was the first. He came back to camp one morning and said that he and Sally, that's her real name, Sally West, they were, engaged.
So what?
I don't know. Anyway, the next night he went on a Berlin trip and bought it.
From what I hear, you don't need a jinx to get done on a Berlin trip.
You don't need one, but it helps. Oh, go on, laugh. Well, Kate was cut up for a while. Then she started going out with Rowley Hayes. He was on his second tour, like you, Peter. They fell for each other. The next night, he went for a Burton.
Nice coincidence.
Old Scotty Stewart's very words. Now, he took her home one night and stayed there. The next stop he went on...
I know, he didn't come back.
No.
There you are, then.
They crashed on takeoff. Everything blew up. They didn't find enough to fill 1 coffin, let alone 7.
But there's no such thing as jinxes.
Yeah, that's what they all said. She shouldn't be allowed out.
Oh, come on.
Why does she hang around here? She should have moved away long since, before she kills any more aircrew.
Well, that's not very logical. Wouldn't she do the same to other people, wherever she went?
Maybe. But as long as she doesn't put the jinx on any of our buds. That woman's death.
Mummy, are you there? Hello, darling. I was just writing a note to tell you I'd called in.
Oh, why didn't you phone?
I'd have stayed in for you. I didn't have time. I got this call to come into town right at the very last moment, as usual, and I had to fly for the train.
Anything important?
Not really. WVS committee meeting. I didn't understand half the things they were talking about.
Then how did you know how to vote?
Well, I watched Mrs. Prendergast and voted against her. Silly woman. Well, after the meeting, I came round here, and your landlady let me in. What's the time? It's not...
No, that clock stopped. Nearly 8:15.
Oh, I can stay for a while and get the 10:05 train, if you like.
That'll be nice. Let's have a cup of tea.
Oh, I made myself one. There's still some in the pot.
Oh, thanks. Would you like a sandwich or something? I think I've got some spam.
No, thank you, dear.
Sure?
Quite sure. You keep it for yourself. Well, things must be difficult enough with only the one ration book.
I don't eat at home all that much. The hospital canteen's not bad.
You're looking a little peaky. Are you feeling all right? It's not that pilot, is it?
What?
Your friend. What was his name? Stewart, Willie Stewart.
Oh, Scotty. No, it's nothing to do with him. Let's drop it, please. It's been a long day.
Very well, dear. Just the same, I'm not sure it's a good idea for you to go out with these airmen. Not the same one all the time, that is. I mean, if you've become too fond of one in particular, it's such a shock if... Well, you know.
You get used to it. You'd be surprised what you can get used to.
It's not good for you, Sally. It must be a terrible strain being with them.
So what do we all do? Ignore them? What you do is prepare yourself. Each time you tell yourself that this is your last time together. So when they don't get back, if you've got any feelings at all, you try to make them happy while you can. Leave it at that. Mummy, what would you say if I joined one of the services?
Oh, no, darling, not the services, not you. Anyway, I don't suppose they'd let you leave the hospital. There can't be all that many lab technicians these days. You said yourself you're short of staff.
Perhaps I could get a transfer to another hospital somewhere.
Sally, something's happened. What is it? Just now, what did you mean? You make the most of that moment. You try to make them happy. Oh, Sally, you're not...
Going to have a baby? No.
No, of course you're not. I knew you wouldn't.
Then you were wrong. Mummy, I'm 25.
It's this dreadful war. Morality, decency, right and wrong. Nothing matters anymore.
Oh, yes, it does. It's just that the things that matter are different now.
They are indeed.
Mother, Queen Victoria's dead.
Oh, perhaps it sounds old-fashioned these days, but I was brought up to believe in qualities like self-respect and self-control. I wouldn't have dreamed of doing that before I was married.
You were married at 18. I haven't been indiscriminate or easy. There had to be friendship, affection. There may even have been love.
You said them. How many? No, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
3.
Oh, Sally.
For God's sake, what's so terrible about that? If you knew what some of the other girls... Anyway, I could easily have married any of them and be a widow 3 times over. But they're dead now. All 3 of them dead with their crews. And it's my fault. My fault. Pathological Department, Northern General Hospital. Who? Oh, no, the doctor's at lunch. He should be back in about half an hour.
Sally West?
Yes. Oh, I remember you. The pub last night.
Yes. I came to say I'm sorry you were rushed off like that.
How did you know I was here?
One of the chaps mentioned your name, and someone else told me what hospital you worked at.
Yes, I'm quite well known among aircrew.
And the path lab told me what time you get back from lunch.
And I'm late, so if you'll excuse me...
I didn't just come around to apologise, actually. I also came to ask you to have dinner with me.
No, thank you.
Oh, why not?
You don't think much of yourself, do you?
Look, if you say you find me repulsive, or even if I just put you off a bit, fair enough, I'll forget the whole thing. But, tell me something, honestly. When we saw each other in the pub last night, it didn't mean anything to you?
You've heard about me? What they call me?
Yes.
What are you doing? You're trying to prove something, that you're not afraid of my reputation?
No. I was only inviting you out to dinner.
I have to get back. Please, get out of my way.
I'm not leaving till you promise to come out with me. Just once. After that...
Or what's to stop me saying I'll meet you and then not turning up?
Oh, I don't think you'd do that. Besides, I could always come back here and make a bigger fuss.
You're serious, aren't you?
Absolutely determined.
Sally? Are you still there? Hello?
Oh, sorry, Mummy. There was a plane going over.
I'm coming into town this evening. I'll be free by 8. I could call in and see you if you like.
I may be going out, but I don't know yet.
So I see. Well, I'll phone when I've finished, if you're in.
Oh, it'd be lovely to see you.
Yes, it's been quite a while. Fortnight, isn't it? Hello?
Mummy, I'm sorry about that last time. I know it's no excuse, but I was, overtired and upset. I'm sorry.
As long as you're all right now, dear. Sally, please be careful. Of any involvement, I mean.
Here's the skip. Hey, Peter, are we flying?
I don't know yet. Just look at you, lying all over the place. Worse than Brighton Beach on bank holiday. Hey, move over.
I tell you, much more of this and I'll go bonkers. Air tests, day navigation exercises, air tests. When are we going to do an op?
I don't see what difference it makes to a wireless operator, whether it's night or day, England or Germany. You never see anything, Alex, stuck in front of your little crystal set.
Listen, who's talking? All you ever see is your navigation chart.
For all the good it does the rest of us.
It's only us gunners that have to keep our eyes open. Isn't that right, Timber?
That's right, Paddy.
Hey, Skip. Yes, Frank?
Flag Commander wants to see you for a moment. Looks like he's calling all the captains.
What? Oh, right. I should think he's heard whether we're on tonight.
Oh, it proper stumps me. Every day it starts by looking fit for flying, and then all of a sudden it clamps down. And even when it stays fit here, they say it's solid down to deck over continent.
Yeah. You can't trust those tricky hands when they're weather.
Oh, what do you reckon, Ron, about tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I tell you one thing, I'm getting thoroughly browned off with this lot. I think I'll join the WAFs.
Wouldn't have you.
Oh, they might if they put it to a vote.
Do you know, I've been in the service 3 years and I still haven't fired a shot in anger.
And you won't break your duck tonight. We're stood down.
Oh, dear God.
That's all
Yeah.
Ben wanted to tell me. Over the continent, there's 15,000 feet of 10/10 cloud with heavy icing.
You're kidding.
I'm afraid not.
Then why aren't you crying, Skip?
Well, Skip's all in favour of scrub outs. Hey, Peter?
What?
Well, the chance of getting to town to see your mystery Popsy.
Is what?
Mystery woman. The Skip's found himself a Popsy, and we've never seen her.
Don't he go out with you lot then?
Oh, goes swanning off on his own.
Dead sly about her, he is.
If there is a Popsy.
Is there, Skip?
Well, she's not Scotch mist.
Then why all the secrecy?
Oh, do you blame me with you lot?
Anyway, you won't get any competition from me. My wife's due here tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's the last we'll see of you when we're not flying then.
What do you think? I might as well have not been married this past 3 months.
What's she like, Skip?
Oh, Ron's wife? Oh, never met her.
No, you're Popsy.
Oh, give it a rest.
I know who it is. It's the Queen Bee Waff.
What? Oh, rock crusher. Here, I've got it. Well, don't give it to me. No, I reckon Ron's right. What he said the other day. It's Death Kiss Kate.
Goering's secret weapon against Bomber Command. That's what she is. I mean, the idea of the Skip with that jinx.
Yeah. You're going out with her, Skipper. You can fly kite on your own.
Hey.
Peter, is it her? Is it Death Kiss Kate?
Don't be bloody silly.
That's no answer.
Of course it is. Transport coming up, lads.
It isn't her, Skip, is it? Skip.
Of course not.
Nice to see you both again. What'll it be, sir?
A pint and a light ale, please, Joe.
No, you sit there, sir. If you can come all this way to my place, at least I can bring your drinks to your table. We haven't had Air Force people in here for, 2 or 3 years.
We've only been out together 3 or 4 times. And yet...
Oh, once can be enough. I mean, it wasn't just another case of meeting someone in a pub and that's all, was it? You can know someone the first moment you see them.
Sometimes. But I was so rude to you. I wanted to frighten you off. And at the same time, I didn't. Oh, you're right. I knew I wasn't meeting just some other man.
So why? Why did you try to frighten me off?
Just in case there was something in what they said about me
Now
being
listen, you're not serious.
Oh, yes. I was beginning to believe it myself.
What?
It was natural enough. I had time to think about it. In fact, I thought of practically nothing else. I was on my own so much, you see.
Yes, I know, but even so...
No, you can't understand it unless you've suffered it. Being an outcast. People treated me as if I had a bell round my neck. I've been in pubs and had them talk across me as if I wasn't there. They called me Death Kiss Kate out loud, standing next to me. I wasn't really human, you see. I didn't have any senses, any feelings.
Oh, Sally. Why did you keep going to the pubs?
Bravado? No. No, if I'd stayed away, it would have been an admission to myself that I believed it too.
Yeah.
And as I said, I was beginning to believe it. When 3 men you've been close to have died, it's easy to start believing.
But not anymore,
Oh, no. No, of course not.
Pint of bitter and a light ale.
Thank
Sorry
you.
to keep you waiting.
Thanks. How much?
Oh, that's all right, sir. Pay for them with your meal.
What have you got for us this time?
Oh, vegetable soup, some chicken and peas.
Chicken?
Maybe a bit tough. She stopped laying a while back now. Peas and sprouts, how's that?
Well, that's marvellous.
I'll have Alice get on with it then.
Thank you. Oh, I've got something special for dessert. How about that?
Oranges.
And chocolate. Flying rations. I saved them for a special occasion.
What's the occasion?
Well, I'm with you.
rest of your crew tonight?
Oh, I don't know. A crescent moon, I expect, as usual.
Right, that's 2 pints. Oh, hello, George. What about you? Bitter?
Ah, thanks. You get your phone call, Ron?
No? What phone call?
Well, I don't know. Someone rang you at the mess 3 times this evening. Personal call from Manchester.
Manchester? I don't know anybody in Manchester, unless...
I wouldn't worry about it.
They'll get you later if it's important.
Yes. Where's your skipper tonight, Ron?
He's off on his own somewhere. He's got this secret popsy tucked away.
Oh.
You know, sometimes I wonder if it isn't Death Kiss Kate after all.
Oh, not again. What's got into you, Ron? Always nagging away about...
I'm not. Well, I mean, you don't see her around these days.
You don't see Betty Grable either, but that doesn't mean she's out with a skip.
That's a stupid argument.
Here we are, 3 pints of bitter.
Jolly good.
Oh, you didn't want a shandy, did you, Frank? No, thanks. I'll get myself one later. Oh, wacko. It's a crime to put lemonade in good beer like this. Cheers.
Cheers, Pop.
Anyway, the skip said it wasn't Death Kiss Kate.
Oh, just the same.
Why can't you leave it alone, Ron? The skip knows how we feel about her.
I reckon it's somebody's missus. And that's why he's keeping her undercover.
Maybe it's the CEO's wife.
The CEO's wife? Have you seen her?
Yeah. Well, I expect you're right.
When shall I see you again? I'm off duty tomorrow evening as well.
Oh, good. Oh, damn, no. It's the officers' mess dance. If we aren't flying, I'll have to go. Otherwise it'll look bad.
I don't mind.
I do. One day. Well, I'll phone you at 7 as usual if I'm not down to fly.
I'm afraid. It's all too sudden.
Sudden? Well, I thought I was being pretty patient. Because if you think I don't want to...
Oh, I didn't mean that. Too sudden to be true.
It's true, all right. Well, you said it yourself. The moment we met, we knew that this was... well, different.
Oh, yes.
Besides, wartime's like a hothouse. Forcing emotions, understanding. And in wartime, there's no time to waste on non-essentials. Ah, here we are.
Godworth! Godworth!
I understand.
Hadn't we better separate here?
Oh, I don't think there'll be anybody I know here at this time of night. Besides, nobody can see us in the blackout. I'll come with you as far as the exit.
I can't even see it.
We turn right at the end of the platform. There's a light there. Where the people are coming off that other train.
Oh, yes, I can see it now.
You don't eat enough carrots.
What?
It's supposed to help you see in the dark. But it's a lot of bull... Oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I was looking round to see where my porter's got to.
You've got a real-life porter. He must be the only one left north of Birmingham.
Oh, here he comes now. Are you sure you're all right?
Oh, yes, thanks. Actually, I never object to being bumped into by attractive young women.
Come on. You've made quite an impression there.
What? We only said a couple of words.
It was enough. Didn't you see the way she was looking at you?
Oh, well, I'm naive. That's my trouble.
Darling, I think I'd better leave you here.
Hello, George. Not dancing.
You inviting me?
People would talk. Hello, I haven't seen her before. She's local, over there with Pop Gun and Ron Chiswell.
Oh, you know her. She's, Betty, what's her name? Used to knock around with Gordon Bigelow.
The one in the blue dress.
Oh, that's Ron Chiswell's wife.
Oh, blast. I hate wives living near the station. They always cause trouble one way or another.
Oh, come on. Let's get another drink.
Where are you staying, Mrs. Chiswell?
Gwen, please.
Oh, okay. Gwen.
I found a small place in Berwick Street. It's not bad. Gwen went straight there last night. Actually, I didn't know she was coming. I was out when she phoned from Manchester.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Oh, hello, Betty.
Hello.
Ah, there you are. We were beginning to think you ditched us. Gwen, this is our skipper, Peter Draycott. Peter, my wife, Gwen.
Oh.
Gwen.
Oh, sorry. How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, so we meet again.
Again?
I'm sorry,
Last night, at the station, I bumped into you. Oh, don't tell me you've forgotten already.
Oh, no. No, of course not.
What were you doing at the railway station?
He was with a girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Oh, Peter's secret Popsy. Somebody's seen her at last.
What was she like, darling? Did you get a good look at her?
Oh, yes?
I'm sure nobody's interested.
Nobody's interested. That must be the daftest remark of the month.
Can we drop it? It's nobody you know.
Gwen?
You talk about women gossiping. Oh, well, she was...
This must be embarrassing for Gwen.
Not really.
Well, not fair to you, then. I mean, asking you to describe somebody else's girlfriend.
It's all right. Quite honestly, she was very attractive.
Oh, well, thanks very much. I'll tell her. If I see her again.
Is that all?
Oh, anyone going to dance?
Hang on. What else about the girl?
Oh, Ron.
No, come on.
Oh, all right. She was about as tall as me. And, like I said, very good looking. And a nice figure.
So there you are. Now, is it all right to dance with your wife, Ron?
Why not ask me?
There's your answer.
Good. Okay, Gwen?
Do you mind looking after my drink for me, Betty?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes, she had beautiful hair. Dark, reddy chestnut. Pull back, isn't it? Yes. Very striking.
Wait. Earrings? Plain gold earrings?
Yes? You do know her, then?
Yes, we all know her. Gwen, excuse me a minute. We've got to have a word with the skipper.
Oh, what about my dance?
Betty, stay with her, will you?
Oh, come on, Gwen, let's go and get another drink.
Look, I've got a drink. I want to know why...
Gwen...
Let's go to the bar. Maybe we can find us up another couple of fellows. Come on.
So now we know. We've got to have this talk.
I don't see why. In any case, this is hardly the time and place. It can wait until tomorrow.
No, it can't. This is the time, so it'll have to be the place. Over here. Pop, you take care of the wound.
What? Oh, all right.
So it was Death Kiss Kate. You have been going out with her.
I've been going out with Sally West, yes.
You told us you weren't, Skip. You lied.
You forced me into it. I tried to avoid the subject. It was for your own peace of mind, as you're also damn superstitious.
3 bods got the chop because of her. 3 bods and their crews. That's not superstition, that's hard facts.
Facts? For God's sake, I've never heard anything so ludicrous.
There's not a single aircrow on this station who doesn't believe that woman's bloody death.
I don't.
What's the matter with you, causing all this trouble over some cheap tart? What are you trying to prove?
Take it easy.
What's the matter with you? You're getting twitchy over the thought of doing your first op?
Pack it in, both of you. Going at each other like a pair of kids. Listen, Skip. She can't be all that important to you. Lots more where she came from.
Sure. Bags of pops is all ready to jump at the chance of a good-looking Flight Louis pilot with a DFC.
Ron. We're a crew, Skip. What any one of us does affects all the others.
The trouble is you're so bloody well sex-struck. All you want to do is...
You bastard!
Easy, Skip. Let go.
Ron, you are deliberately stirring it up.
All right, all right.
I think you're going round the bend with all this talk of jinxes and bad luck.
Look, Skip, this flying business is dicey enough as it is without going to look for extra problems. Right now, we're all as jumpy as mice with scrub-outs and stand-downs night after night. If we're going to have to start worrying about jinxes and bad luck, instead of keeping our minds on our business, we might as well all send in for our little wooden crosses right now.
That's it. So understand this, Peter. If you've been to bed with that woman, we're not flying with you again, and that's flat. I'll go to the Winko and tell him we don't want to fly with you. We've lost confidence in you.
I see. What do you say, Frank?
Look, Skip, the rest of us, we've been together for some time now. We have to stick together over this. I'm sorry, Skip.
So I'll ask you again. Have you slept with her? If it's no, you haven't, okay. But then you've got to promise right here and now, and mean it, that you'll finish with her.
No. No, I haven't.
Fair enough. And?
I'll stop seeing her.
You give your word?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that's all settled. Now, let's get back to the party before everybody wonders what's going on.
Yes, come and have a drink.
What?
What do you have?
Nothing, thanks.
Oh, come on, just to show there's no hard feelings.
Aren't there?
Peter, hey!
Leave him, Ron. You've done enough.
You heard about the skipper? Yeah, last night. Aye. Death Kiss Kate. Fancy. Alec, you going to eat your pie? Oh, no. They're horrible. Oh, they're not bad. Thanks. Yeah, you reckon he'll pack it in with her, like he said? I hope so. In fact, he better. I'm not getting airborne with anyone who's been knocking around with Death Kiss Kate.
Oh, I don't know. It does seem a little bit stupid saying a woman's a jinx and all that.
Ron's no fool, and he believes it.
Oh, I wonder.
Wonder what you prove?
Well, Ron never really liked the skipper. Really liked him.
Why shouldn't he?
I don't know. Maybe because he was scrubbed out as a pilot before he became a navigator.
What, Ron was? I never knew that.
He told me himself. One night when we both taken a drop. He went to the States on a pilot's course, but they had to fail a certain percentage and make them into navigators and bomb aimers. He was one of them. And all he ever wanted to be was a pilot.
Well, what's that got to do with Ron not liking the skipper?
Oh, jealous is a powerful thing.
Oh, bull.
Have you not seen the way he looks at him sometimes?
All right. You take the skipper's side. Let him keep on seeing her till he gets to bed with her. Hey, what's that?
God. Suppose he has already.
Oh, he hasn't.
How do you know?
Back home, the girls are terrified of two things, the priest and mortal sin, in that order. So fellas get the chance to do it so rarely that when they do, it shows. You get to know the look of a man who's had a woman.
Well, if the skip gets that look, you tell us. You can fly with him on your own. I'm not so sure. You know that he hasn't. Yeah, you asked me.
Attention,
you two, you're
please. Attention, please. The following captains and their crews will report to briefing at 1800 hours. Sergeant Abbott, Pilot Officer Bilkowski, Flight Sergeant Shannon, Flight Lieutenant Edwards.
Bloody hell, we're not
Flight
on.
Officer Gregson, Flight Lieutenant Martin.
Maybe we'll be at the end of the list.
Leathercoat, Flight Lieutenant Richards, Flight Sergeant Sampson, Sergeant Underhill, Flying Officer West, Warrant Officer Yates. Navigators
Well,
and bomb
God
aimers
help us all.
briefing
I
at
thought we were supposed to be going on a next trip.
17:15.
That does it. They've had me. They can all get knotted from the group captain down. We've been put down to fly on every single lot ever since we got here. But every single time the trip was scrubbed. Now we've been taken off the list, they'll fly, you mark my words. What a doolally way to fight a war. Hey, where are you going, Paddy?
Where am I going? I'll tell you where I'm going. I'm getting ready to go into town, and I'm going to find myself a poxy. And then I'll set a new record for getting the pair of us rotten, stinking drunk.
Take it easy. Let's wait and see what the others are doing.
One thing I don't need help with is getting drunk. It's a national talent. I tell you, I don't think we'll ever do an op. So as far as I'm concerned, the skip can have that woman on the steps of the town hall on market day.
Just a moment, darling. You're early.
Miss West. Well, my name is Gwen Chiswell. Can I come in?
I'm afraid it's not very convenient.
It won't take long. Excuse me.
But Oh, very well. You'll have to be quick. I want to get dressed. I'm expecting someone.
Peter Draycott.
What? Oh, wait a moment. Haven't I seen you before?
At the railway station the other night. When you said you've got a real live porter, remember? You were with Peter Draycott. It's because of Peter I'm here now.
Oh?
You've got to stop seeing him.
I beg your pardon?
I said you've got to stop seeing him. Look, may I sit down?
Well, of all the... You forced your way in here, a perfect stranger.
Doesn't my name mean anything to you? Chiswell?
Should it?
Ron, my husband, is in Peter's crew.
I didn't know.
No. Peter wouldn't talk to you about the crew much. They had a row at the mess dance last night. Over you. They know you've been meeting on the quiet.
Indeed.
Look, what you and Peter do is none of my business. I couldn't care less as long as it doesn't affect my husband. But Ron's in his crew.
So you said.
And I'm not having him killed with Peter Draycott because of you.
Get out.
In a moment, when I've said what I have to say. All I care about is my husband. He's everything to me. But it seems to me that you don't care for Peter all that much. Can't you see what you're doing to him? To him, never mind the rest of the crew. If he really does mean anything to you, give him up now, before it's too late.
You actually believe I am a jinx, don't you?
I know you are. And you know it too. Because they think you are, and that's all it takes. I've seen them together. Saw what just mentioning your name did to them. They're worrying. They're losing confidence. Next, they'll lose concentration, which can mean the difference between surviving and not surviving.
I didn't know you were an expert on air crew.
Not like you, no. You just need to see them. I knew them before they came here, and they're different, all of them. Now, my husband's in that crew, and he's going to survive. Do you understand?
Now, if you've finished...
Not quite. Last night, Peter Draycott gave the others his word he wouldn't see you again.
What?
Otherwise, they won't fly with him. So if he does come here this evening, I hope it's to say goodbye. It had better be. Get this into your head. If Peter doesn't want to keep his word, you're going to make him, for all their sakes. You won't see him again.
And if I do?
I won't let you. I won't let you destroy my husband.
Really? And how will you stop me?
Somehow. If I have to, I'll kill you.
Oh, God. Oh, I need a drink. Oh! Oh!
Sally.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you startled me. I didn't hear you come in.
I always seem to be making you drop glasses. Here, let me clear it out.
No, it's all right. I'll manage.
I say, I like that bathrobe.
Oh, I've just had a shower. Sorry.
There's no need to apologize. On the contrary.
How did you get in?
You hadn't shut the door properly. You better get that lock seen to.
I've been meaning to.
And that clock, is it still not going? Or remind me to take it with me. I'll give it to our instrument bashers to have a go at.
Scotch? There's still most of that bottle you gave me.
Ah. Well, thanks. I say, that's a big one for you, isn't it?
Mm.
Cheers. To us.
Peter.
Hmm?
Sit over there for a moment.
What? Why
no, please, sit down. I want to talk to you.
Well, can't you talk with
Peter.
me? Oh, all right.
We can't go on like this. What sort of existence is it for you? For both of us? Hiding away like criminals or something?
Oh, it's all right, darling. I was careful. Nobody saw me coming here.
Well, that's exactly what I mean. But it wouldn't have mattered if they had seen you now, would it?
Oh, better if no one knows for a while. Until we've done a couple of
Because
hops.
your crew know already.
Who told you that?
Gwen Chiswell. She was here just before you came.
Oh. And that's why you were looking so shattered. Oh, stupid, interfering. Her and her big-headed husband.
You gave your word you wouldn't see me again as well, didn't you?
No, they forced that promise out of me, and I haven't the least intention of keeping it. Anyway, it's only for a little while. As soon as we've done a couple of trips, I'll tell the boys, and they'll realize how stupid the whole thing was.
No, they won't. They'll go on wondering and worrying every single trip until your tour's over. Over one way or another. And so will you.
Of course I won't.
And how do you think I'd feel every time I heard aircraft taking off from the aerodrome? Worrying myself to death about you, waiting...
Will you worry any the less if we don't see each other? Hmm? Anyway, a lot of women manage to bear it. You wouldn't be the only one.
But I'd be the only one who'd blame herself if anything happened to you.
For Christ's sake, stop going on about that. Forget it.
How can I? I have to live with it. And look what's happening. You and your crew rowing and jumping.
I'm not.
It's not the end of it either. It's what it's doing to us. We're keeping away from each other. Almost afraid to touch.
What?
You know what I mean. But we've never even dared to talk about it. Not properly. And you've never done or said anything.
Well, because I knew you were a bit upset.
I might as well have not been a woman.
I didn't want to rush you.
Rush me? Do you know how I feel? I've been waiting and hoping. At the same time, I've been scared. Oh, Peter, I am scared. I'd be scared with anyone now, but because
you can't go on like this, being torn apart every time you meet someone you like.
Someone? It's you. I told you I'd be afraid with anybody, but because it's you, I'm more afraid than ever.
Oh, that's stupid. And you know it is. Unless it's all an excuse.
Oh. Oh, if only you really knew how I feel about you. How much I want you. But, darling, I'm terrified for your sake. I thought perhaps you didn't want me because of what I am.
Didn't want you?
Mm.
God, it's been all I could do to stop myself. Look, I've left you physically aching for you. How do you think I feel now with you standing there half undressed? I mean, look at you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
I can understand so much, you know.
No. Oh, no, Peter, you mustn't. Not now. Not yet. Please.
It's going to happen eventually. You know that.
Yes.
You know there's only one way to prove it's all a stupid superstition.
Oh, no.
There's no jinx.
Oh, God, how I want to, but please. Peter, no. Oh, Peter, we mustn't.
Sally.
Begin to flicker in the sky through the mist of a memory. You wander back to me, breathing my name with a sigh.
Gwen, what time is it?
3 o'clock.
What are you doing out of bed?
Nothing. I couldn't sleep.
Come and do your staying awake in bed. You'll catch cold standing by the window like that.
I'm all right.
Can't find my dressing... here it is. Something wrong, darling?
Not really. Too much coffee, I expect.
More likely the boy's coming back. It is a bit shaking if you're not used to it. All those kites belting across at North feet.
I don't see how you can sleep through it.
You'll get used to it sooner than you think.
I'll never get used to it.
I'll be all right.
Of course you will. Ron, do you think Peter Draycott will give her up?
So that's what's bothering you. Forget it, you won't see her again.
I hope so.
I told you. Forget it, it's all over. Anyway, don't let's talk about her. She's bad luck.
I know. Ron, I think I saw him outside in the street just now.
Peter? So what?
Well, she lives down the road there near the corner. He was coming from that way.
Well, how do you know where she lives?
Somebody mentioned it. At the dance. Yes, it was Betty, Pop's girlfriend.
Anyway, you sure it was Peter?
Well, I couldn't see all that well, but...
There you are, then. Even if it was him, you didn't actually see him leaving her place, did you? He could have been anywhere, seeing some other woman.
But he was coming from that way. Ron, I think he'd been with her.
Come on, Gwen. I mean, it'd be quite a coincidence, wouldn't it? You waking up, getting out of bed and looking out right at the very moment when Peter comes out of her place and goes past here. No, I'm sure we scared him off her. He doesn't want trouble with the crew.
Oh, I don't know.
It's all right. He's an absolutely first-rate pilot. Cool as a cup of top-age tea. Never flaps. Come on, let's get back to bed. It's about time I got some sleep. It's odds on we'll be flying tomorrow. Or tonight, rather.
Ron? That woman... There's the smell of death about her.
I can't believe we're actually going to fly at last.
Well, we've been this far before and had it scrubbed. As long as we get far enough for them to hand out the flying rations.
If all timber stopped eating, you know, this country could end rationing tomorrow.
Hey, Skip. Do you reckon they'll be out to bomb Ava's and Navigator's briefing yet?
Well, there better be main briefings in 10 minutes.
Others are over there, Skip, on the grass.
They don't look very cheerful, do they?
Aye.
Is it a major target?
You could say that.
So, where is it?
Berlin. It's a maximum effort turnout. Bomber Command are putting up something like 700 aircraft on the main target. There'll be 3 sets of diversionary raids. Sterlings will be doing gardening off the Frisians, and both Lancs and Halifaxes will be going to Bremen and Kassel. All right? Now, the Pathfinders will be marking with Parramatta, starting at H-2. Red target indicators turning green, followed by all green TIs after H+10. If the Met people have got it wrong for once... If the Met people have got it wrong for once, and the target is obscured by cloud, it'll be Wanganui. Same times, same colours. Oh, yes, the master bomber's call sign will be Lamplighter, and the main force will be Stoker.
How's the enemy, Skip?
That's bags of time yet. Needn't get aboard for another 10 minutes. Where's Paddy?
I've just been watering the wheels, Skip.
What, again?
Right so.
What a marvellous sunset.
Oh, red sky at night.
Yeah, rumble goods. What are you eating?
Me flying rations.
They're supposed to be for when we're airborne.
We haven't even got into the flaming cake yet. Well, I'm not taking any chances. They might still scrub it. Well, they're not getting my rations back.
Have you been to Berlin before, Skip?
Yes.
How was it?
Noisy. And these days they feed their fighter pilots on raw meat. Ron? You all right?
Hmm? Oh, sure.
You were a bit quiet.
I was thinking.
Aye.
All that complicated machinery. 30,000 quid's worth of aeroplane. All 7 of us to take it, what? 600 miles in the dark to an exact point about half the size of this aerodrome in the middle of a town, then all the way back. And for what?
What do you mean, for what? To bomb the bleeding town, that's what for.
Yeah, isn't it marvellous?
Come on, lads. Time to get moving. All aboard for the Skylark.
Coming!
Hello, Mummy. Hello, dear. I don't think I'll ever get used to the blackout. Wouldn't mind so much if you could get torch batteries anywhere.
Well, at least your train was on time. You give me your bag.
Oh, thank you.
And your coat.
I really need a new one. I don't even have enough coupons left for a handkerchief. Oh, goodness. They're going off again tonight, are they?
Yes. I should think so.
And I'm complaining about torch batteries.
Well, everybody okay? Ron?
Okay, Skip.
Frank?
Okay.
Pop?
Fine, Skip.
Alec?
Okay.
Timber?
With you, Skip.
Paddy?
Sitting with me back to the engine as usual, Skip. There's our green light, Skip.
Right. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Brakes.
Pressure okay.
Radiators closed.
Radiators closed.
Lock throttles.
Lock throttles.
Full power.
Full power. 90. 100. 105. 110.
God, she's heavy. Come on. Off you come. Climbing power.
Climbing power.
Wheels up.
Wheels up.
Flaps up.
Flaps up.
5 minutes to rendezvous point, Skip. Steer 051.
Okay, Ron. Actually, I can see it from here.
Wacko. Your first course from rendezvous point will be 092. I'll let you know a minute before time to set course.
Roger.
Okay to test the guns, Skip.
Yes, go ahead. Try not to shoot down one of ours. Paddy, make sure yours aren't bunged up with fluff as well, will you?
Roger. Noisy couple. BBC time signal coming up in a minute, Skip.
Roger. Ron, Frank, check your watches.
Okay.
What's it, Lester? Where's my key and my other coat?
Oh, Mrs. Chiswell. Husband not with you then?
No.
Oh. Flying, is he?
I expect so. Otherwise he'd be here by now.
Wouldn't he phone to say he was flying?
Well, when the squadron's operating, they don't allow outside calls until long after they've taken off. Even the public phone boxes on the camp are locked.
Oh. Would you like to come and sit with me for a while?
No, thanks. I'd rather be alone. Oh, thanks, all the same.
Enemy coast due any moment now, Skip.
If the night fighters knew us up here, they wouldn't dare to get airborne.
Well, they don't and they will, so belt up. Frank, down in the nose. Frank?
He's already on his way.
Starboard outer's getting a bit warm, Skip. I'll keep an eye on it.
Roger.
Crossing the coast. Now.
Bang on time, Skip. Frank, did you get a fix?
I made it a mile north of track.
Good show.
Aircraft. Port quarter up, Skip.
How far? Friendly?
It's all right. It's a lank. About 1,000 yards.
Looks as if the flag's coming from Amsterdam.
I don't give a monkey's where it's coming from. It's where it's going to. Skip, can we go home? I just remembered something. I'm a neutral.
Stop nattering and keep your eyes open.
I hope you didn't mind me asking you to come over.
No, of course not, dear. Why should I? I've been here a dozen times since you moved in.
But you've always just dropped in. Well, this is the first time I've actually asked you to come.
Oh, jolly good. I'm glad you did, dear. What's the time?
Well,
oh, that clock. You really must get a new one. Anyway, I'm sure it's time for us to have something to eat. I brought some sausages with me, although I suppose they're mostly breadcrumbs.
I'm not hungry.
Well, you must eat something.
Oh, Mummy, please.
Well, what is it?
Sorry?
Well, you said it yourself. This is the first time you've asked me to come. So what is it you want to tell me?
I didn't say anything at the time. But a couple of weeks ago, I met another pilot.
Oh, dear.
We started going out together, and one night he came here.
I had hoped you wouldn't get involved again.
Oh, so did I. Dear God, so did I.
I suppose he's flying tonight. Oh, you're worried about him. That's only natural.
If you only knew.
Parents often know more than you realize.
What?
Well, you must try to keep some sense of proportion. Oh, you'll see. This time tomorrow, it'll all be behind you.
Oh, God, I hope so. What's the time now?
1:15.
Is that all? This night's going to last forever. Or a lifetime, anyway.
Coming up to the next turning point in 1 minute, Skip. New course will be 115.
How are we doing?
I got a couple of bearings from Stockholm and Hamburg before it went off the air. I think we're about 10 miles south of the track.
Hell. Then get us back on it smartish. It's too dicey being away from the mainstream. Night fighters always pick on kites stuck out on their own.
I've made allowance for it on the new course. I'll be giving you a correction after 2 minutes.
Right, but don't let us get that far off again.
It's not too bad, actually, Skip. I can see quite a few kites on the old radar.
Fair enough, but do watch it, Ron. It's not healthy.
Skip, that starboard outer's getting hotter.
Yes. Well, there's sweet FA we can do about it, though. Maybe I can cut it back a bit when we drop the bombs.
That's still quite a while.
Well, hard luck. We'll just have to press on.
Fighter! Starboard quarter up, 800 yards. Prepare to cock through starboard, Skip. Christ, he isn't half coming in. 600. 500. 400, cocks through starboard. Go! I see him. He's broken. Port and up.
Time to turn onto 115, Skip.
Roger. Turning onto 115. Now.
Corkscrew port. Go, go, go!
I think he's hit us.
He's broken off again, the bastard. Dive below. Watch it, Pat. He'll probably come straight up at us again.
Frank, get down in the nose, see if you can see anything. Watch out below and astern.
Roger. Skip, get on the course while you can, otherwise we'll end up Christ only knows where.
That's exactly right.
On 115. Any signs of that fighter?
There's about 6/10 cloud beneath us. He might have gone into it and lost us.
Well, I think he must have gone. Well done, lads.
There's a hell of a draft, Skip.
Pop it back and see what damage there is.
We'll go. Skip, you on the right course?
115.
Alter course to 120 now.
Okay, we'll go.
Skip, pop here. We've got a dirty grey hole right through both sides of aircraft.
Anything important damaged?
No, don't think so. No hydraulic lines touched. Control cables look all right. How do controls feel?
Well, everything's responding okay. I'll just try the bomb doors, make sure we can get them open. They seem okay.
Bomb doors indicated open, Skip.
Great.
God almighty, look at that!
What?
All those searchlights head to starboard.
Keep your eyes on the sky, Timber, not the ground. It's the Ruhr, Happy Valley. We go north of most of that lot. Just wait till you see Berlin. There's a hell of a sight more lively than that even last time I was there.
Hope it's changed, then.
Hope it hasn't. It'll only be for the worse.
We're about 5 miles north of track, Skip, as far as I can tell. Turn 5 degrees to starboard now.
Turning 5 degrees onto 138 now.
Skip, I don't like the look of that starboard outer.
No, nor do I. But the blaster thing doesn't flake out on us.
I suppose we've got to press on. It'll be a bit dicey if we have to stagger there with a full bomb load on 3 engines.
Well, we've still got 4 at the moment. We'll keep going. We'll be safer with the mainstream anyway. If we jettison the bombs, the night fighters will know somebody's in trouble. If we try to turn now, we might prang into someone while we're doing it.
Then we'd have to stooge halfway across France and Germany like a fox on 3 legs, with all the night fighters chasing us with their tongues hanging out.
Yeah.
You could try reducing revs on it a bit, Skip. We're a lot lighter with all fuel we've used.
Yes, I'll do that. How much longer to the next turning point, Ron?
ETA in 20 minutes. But the wind's strengthened from what I can tell, so you'd better reduce airspeed by 10 knots, Skip.
Right. Well, that's marvellous. Now we'll have a stronger headwind all the way back with a dicky engine.
Oh, and that hole in fuselage isn't helping our fuel consumption either.
Any more good news?
I just picked up a message from Group. Weather's deteriorating over France, and my feet hurt.
Well, we're not planning on walking back. Steering 181 now. Pop, get up in the Astrodome, keep a good lookout. We're liable to be jumped all the way in and out now.
Okay, Skip. Bah! You don't have to steer a course. Just head for the flag and searchlights.
What are they going so mad over? We're still miles out of range.
They're after the Pathfinders, Timber. Keep your eyes peeled for fighters. Bugger what's happening on the ground.
We'll go, Skip.
I make it time for the first target indicators to be going down. See anything up front?
Oh, plenty, but no TIs. Wait a minute. Yeah, there's the first one. And another.
Bang on time. You've got to give it to the Pathfinders.
Hun's trying to.
Cut the chaps.
Lamplighter calling Stoker. Lamplighter calling Stoker. The first TIs are 500 yards short. Aim to overshoot the first TIs by 500 yards. Overshoot 500
Get that, Frank?
yards.
Roger, Skip.
That's better, chaps. Oh, bang on.
Christ, what's that?
Fighters dropping flares. It'll be as bright as day in a minute. Everybody eyes peeled.
That flag looks nasty, Skip. Can't we weave about a bit?
No. The best thing is to get through it as quickly as possible.
Setting the distributor, Skip. Bomb doors open.
Bomb doors open.
Bombs fused.
Okay. All yours, Frank.
Lamplighter to Stoker. Lamplighter to Stoker. The green TIs are bang on. Green TIs are bang on. Ignore red TIs, they're dummy. Red TIs are dummy. Green TIs bang on.
There go the first HEs, Skip. We should be spot on time. Hold it there. 5 degrees to starboard. Hold it. Steady. Steady. Target coming up. Right. Right. Steady. Steady. Left, left. Steady. 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 Bomb's gone.
Closing bomb doors. As soon as you've tidied up down there, Frank, get back and check the bomb bays.
Corkscrew starboard! Corkscrew starboard! There's another one above us, starboard quarter.
Timber, you take that one.
Right, Skip.
Skip, can you turn on to 253 degrees now?
Okay, 253. Hold on. Oh, Christ, the starboard outer sea's solid. Pop, give us a hand.
Coming.
Feather the prop, cut the fuel and ignition. I can't take my hands off. That's better.
What's that?
We're in a searchlight. Pop, through the gate with the throttles.
Paddy, where is he? I can't see anything. Port quarter up. Aim for his gun flashes.
We've got to get out of this light. Hang on, everybody.
You'll never pull it out!
Sally. Sally.
Oh. No. Oh, sorry. Oh, it was a nightmare. Oh, where are my cigarettes?
What were you dreaming about?
I don't remember. Nothing.
It's through falling asleep all cramped up in that chair. It's not good for you. Why don't you...
I couldn't go to bed.
Well, just go and lie down. I'll call you if there's
No. Damn. Pass me those matches, please, Mummy. God almighty, doesn't anything work these days?
Sally, well, don't you think you should see someone? You must know a doctor at the hospital you could go to. Perhaps he could give you a tonic for your nerves or something.
I'm all right, Mummy. Everyone has nightmares.
Mrs. Chiswell? Mrs. Chiswell?
Yes.
I'm just going to make a cup of cocoa. Would you like some?
Oh, no thanks.
Oh, well, if you do later, I know how it is.
Do you?
I mean, if you get tired of being on your own.
Thank you, but I prefer it.
All right, then.
I thought we bought it that time.
Yeah. I'd better go and have a look at the damage, Pop.
Radio's had it, Skip. I couldn't get the bomb's gone signal through to base.
All the radars US too. It's just a load of old iron and broken glass.
Are you all right?
A few cuts. I've had worse shaving.
Same here.
Ron?
Oh, not a mark. Broke my pencil point, though.
Timber?
Got a hole in the turret, Skip, and the draft's got worse. But I'm all right, apart from being bloody cold.
Paddy?
I'm okay, Skip. But the turret doors have jammed shut tighter than old Alec's wallet. We'll have to open them up with a crowbar when we land.
Skip, Pop here. The kite looks like a T-strainer back here. I wouldn't mind betting it'll be a write-off. Even the L-sand's got holes in it. And the turret doors are all buckled to beggary.
Yeah, Paddy just told me. Can you free them?
No. Not without heavy tools.
Okay, come on back. Ron, any idea where we are?
Not much. After all that dodging about. I tried to check your courses as best I could, and for what it's worth, I make us about 15 miles north of track, going on dead reckoning, but it's pretty much by guess and by God.
Well, give me a new course to get back on track as soon as you can.
Just finished working it out. 285.
Turning onto 285. Keep your eyes open, chaps. If we're that far out of the stream, all the fighters will be after us like a dose of salts.
What are you looking for, dear?
My cigarettes.
You've got one burning in the ashtray.
What? Oh, yes. Yes, I just wanted to know where I'd put them down. What's the time?
1:45. Sally, please go and lie down.
1:45. Is that all? Seems an age. Oh, I wonder what time they'll get back.
You'll hear them coming back.
Do you have to go on knitting like that?
It's quite restful, actually.
Not to me.
All right, very well.
I'm sorry.
Oh, darling, I know it's difficult, but you should try to relax a little. don't think you've sat still for 5 minutes.
I'm all right.
Don't you think it's time you went to bed? You've got to get up early tomorrow.
I couldn't sleep.
If you just lie down for a while.
I think I'll go out.
Go out?
For a cup of tea or something.
Well, I can make one here.
No. I want to go out.
But there's nowhere open this late.
Well, there's the canteen on the station. That's open all night.
Oh, Sally.
Now, I must get out. I feel stifled.
Any better idea where we are, Ron?
No. Still on dead reckoning. Wouldn't be so bad if I could get even a star shot. Any chance of making it above the clouds, Skip?
I couldn't do it on 4 engines, let alone 3.
Skip, what's this going past my turret? It looks like sparks. It's not the
Christ almighty, the port inlet's on fire. Must have been that last attack.
OK, Skip, I'm feathering it. Shall I press fire extinguisher?
No. Wait till the air screw stops turning. Press it now. Come on. Come on.
It's out!
That's the first good news I've heard for a long time.
You lot sound very busy up there.
Hey, Skip, it started again.
God. And the fire extinguisher's all used up. The only thing I can do is try reducing speed, see if that cuts down the spread. I can't get the nose up any more than that. If we stall...
It doesn't look any better from here, Skip.
No, it's no good.
Marvellous. Dirty great beacon for night fighters.
And in this stuff, we can't see them unless they creep right into the kite with us.
Doesn't look as if it's doing the wing much good either.
There's only one thing left. I'll have a go at side-slipping away from it. Hold on, everyone.
I think it's going out.
Well, let's hope it goes out before we hit the deck, that's all.
It's going, Skip.
Oh.
Hey. Here, Skip. Is it always like tonight?
No, this is a bit special.
Who trod on the black cat? Or something.
Oh, shut up. How much longer before they get back? Well, perhaps I'll hear them sooner if I open the window. Dear God, please give him your protection. Bring him home safely to me. And please, dear God, let me know that you'll take care of him. Isn't that Sally West? My God, it is.
Who's there? Who is it? What do you want? Oh!
You don't want to run about like that in a blackout, miss. You could do yourself an injury. And other people.
Sorry, Constable. You startled me. I was already a bit jumpy.
Oh, I should think we're pretty safe here. It's Hull that's catching it again.
It wasn't the raid. I thought someone was following me.
I can't see anyone.
It must be my imagination.
Things can sound funny in the blackout. Good night, miss.
Good night. For God's sake, what do you want? Stop following me.
I was right. It is her. Now, where's she going?
Ron, any clues yet?
How the hell could I have? Radio and G gone for a Burton compass with half a cannon shell in it, and my navigator not a bloody fortune teller.
Okay, don't burst any blood vessels. It was a stupid question.
Sorry.
Forget it. Frank, you see anything down there?
Not a sausage, Skip. The cloud's solid. 11/10.
Well, at least it's helped us lose the fighters. Pop, how's our fuel?
I'm working it out.
And we were heading in the right direction, more or less, when we went into cloud.
Yeah, more or less. We could be anywhere now. France, Germany, Belgium, North Sea, anywhere.
I reckon we're over the sea. There's been no flag for some time now.
It doesn't follow. We're probably well away from the mainstream. We're low, we're slower than the other kites, and we've been in cloud for ages.
You mean the Han isn't sure whether we're friendly or hostile?
Yeah, anything not by the book baffles him.
Skip, as best as I can work it out, we've got enough fuel for an hour. Maybe an hour and a half. That's if we haven't lost any from holes in tanks. But is it all the altitude we've got?
Yes.
I thought altimeter was wrong. How long?
Before we hit, well, we're losing height at 100 feet a minute.
An hour, 6,000 feet. So, even if we have got only enough fuel for an hour, we'll hit before then?
No. It'll probably maintain height at about 1,000 feet if the engines hold up.
Well, there's nothing else we can throw out to lighten load.
Listen, everybody. I've been thinking. I'm going to start letting down.
Yeah, but if we don't know where we are, Skip, we might bang into a mountain or something before we come out of cloud.
If we don't, the flag will probably get us.
Look, we've got to come down sooner or later. It's better if we do it while we've still got some power on and I can get the nose right up.
If we go on a bit more, Skip, we've got a better chance of coming down over the sea.
Yeah, and supposing we do let down over the sea and then find we haven't got enough fuel to make land on either side. I couldn't even be sure which direction land is.
We could ditch.
With no one knowing where we are, not to mention Paddy stuck down there in his turret like a canary.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Right. Ron, Alec, Frank, Pop, Timber, get to ditching positions. If we do prang into anything solid, it might give you a chance. Paddy, make sure your turret's lined up fore and aft. Oh, and Paddy, don't worry. I won't put it down in the drink.
Look, Skip, if I stay down in the bomb hatch, I might be able to see something before you do.
You don't have to, Frank.
I'd rather. I don't want to be squeezed up with old rumble guts. I'll stay down here when I get some fresh air.
Good show. You lot plugged in back there?
Okay, Skip.
Right-o, Skip.
Aye, Skip. Me too, Skip. And you know where I am, Skip. You take care of your end. I'll take care of mine.
Right. I'm putting down some flak. 5,000 feet. 4,800. 4,600.
What was that?
I don't know. It could be another kite slipstream.
Or updraft from a mountain.
Belt out.
3,200. 3,000.
Oh, no. No, look what you made me do.
Sorry.
Oh, fat lot good that is.
I'll pay for it if you like.
Oh, that's all very well. Where are we supposed to get the cups? There's a war on, you know. What was you doing, walking about not watching where you was going?
Well, I was looking for someone. I thought I saw...
You all right?
What? Oh, yes, thanks.
Oh, don't look it. Here, sit down there. I'll get you a cup of tea.
No. No. Thanks, just the same.
Talk about did you ever see a dream walking?
Are you still there? Who is it? What do you want? Can't you say something? I know you're there.
Oh, Christ!
1,200.
Skip? No, nothing.
Paddy, you see anything?
Only me reflection in the turret, Skip. I've looked better.
1,000. 900.
Flak. We're still over enemy territory.
Oh, bloody hell, we've had it. We'll never get back now.
Skip? I can see something. We're over the sea.
The sea? You're right, it's a ship firing at us. Here, I think it's one of ours. Ron, quick, what's the letter of the day? Come on, what is it?
D-Dog. I'll get the oldest lamp.
Ron, find the colours of the day as well and fire them. Okay, forget it. They've identified us as friendly.
I'm not feeling very friendly. Skip! Skip, I can see land up ahead.
Yes, I think I can too. It must be England. Come on, chaps, back to your places.
Skip, there's an aerial lighthouse ahead, just a bit to starboard. See it? It's flashing. Dot, dash, dot, dot, L.
L. Hang on, that's... Yes, weather all.
Oh, black oak! I can cope from here.
Chaps, we've done it. We're going to make it. Ron, bung it down in your log. 0114, out of cloud, pilot map reading back to base.
114, Roger, Skip.
Hey, Skip, the 114 bus goes right past my door at home.
Hey, good show, everybody. Oh, thanks, Frank, for staying down there. And you too, Ron. Your dead reckoning was spot on. Wizard.
Where's the Skip?
In the hall, in the phone box.
Phone box?
Bah, I'm shagged out. I hope I can get to bed before I fall asleep. I was almost too tired to eat after all that.
Oh, I'll be asleep myself in a minute. I just want to have a word with the Skip.
Come on, Frank.
Hey, Peter. Bit late for phone calls, isn't it?
Oh, not this one. Hello, Sally.
What?
Hello, darling, I'm back. Wasn't that Sally? Who's speaking? Gwen Chiswell, what are you doing there?
Gwen's there.
No, wait a minute. Look, what's going on? Hello? Hello? Oh, she's hung up. What the hell's going on? Well, there's only one way to find out.
Hang on, I'm coming with you.
Mrs. West, you haven't touched your tea.
It's gold.
Yes. Shall I make some fresh?
No, thank you very much.
Sally, what the hell's going on?
Gwen, what are you doing here?
Oh, Ron. Oh, thank God. I was half out of my mind until...
Till what?
Mrs. West? I'm Peter Draycott. Where's Sally?
It's over. It's over now. You're back. That's all that matters.
Where's Sally?
What are you talking about?
She's dead.
What?
Sally. She's dead. Dead.
But she can't be. I mean, I phoned her. How? A raid?
At the railway station.
How do you know about it?
I was there. I saw it happen. She was walking along the platform.
She'd just gone for a cup of tea, you know. I told her...
She went too near the edge. It was very dark, and a train whistled. Suddenly, I think it must have startled her. She sort of turned quickly and slipped onto the track. I tried to save her, but...
What was she doing at the station, and how is it you happened to be there? You were following her, weren't you? Save her? You didn't try to save her. You pushed her.
John, you're bloody mad. Look. You don't realise what you're saying. Why would Gwen want to...
For your sake, you pushed her, didn't you? She never slipped.
No, you're quite right. It wasn't an accident.
What?
He's right. She didn't slip.
Gwen, for God's sake.
I saw her in the street. I had to follow her. Oh, it all seems unreal now. Like a dream where you can only watch things and know what's going to happen but can't change anything. Well, I followed her to the station and then along the platform. And she ran right to the end of it as the train was coming in. And without looking round or hesitating or anything, she turned and deliberately jumped in front of the engine.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to tell you that she killed herself.
Sally killed herself? That's impossible. Why would she want to do that?
But because she loved you. She knew she always brought disaster to anyone who loved her.
Shut up.
She was afraid of what she might do to you. And because she loved you, she ended her influence over you the only way she knew.
But she wouldn't have...
Oh, yes. If she loved him enough.
How do you know all this? Did she tell you?
No, but what other explanation is there?
Of course Sally didn't kill herself. It was an accident. Those platforms can be terribly dangerous at night. That's the second time there's been an accident with the 114.
What train was that?
Oh, does it matter?
Was it the 114?
Yes. Why?
We're having a pretty rough time of it. Lost, losing height, kite all shot up, then suddenly our luck, everything changed. And we were safe. At 1:14 exactly. I wrote it down. 1:14.
Dear God.
Gwen, I want the truth.
It was exactly as I said. She brought about her own death.
What is it? The clock. What are you talking about? It doesn't go. It hasn't gone for weeks.
What? Look at it.
The time. 1:14.
It was an accident. A dreadful accident. Well, it must have been. She would never have killed herself. You don't believe she did that, do you?
No, Mrs. West.
No, he doesn't believe she killed herself. But there's something else you do believe now, isn't there, Peter? Isn't there? Her death, and you suddenly coming out of danger, and the clock stopped weeks ago all at 1:14? All coincidence? Or was she really Death Kiss Kate, after all?
When the deep purple falls over sleepy garden walls, and the stars begin to flicker in the sky.
In Death Kiss Kate by Max Markey, Martin Jarvis played Peter and Kate Coleridge Sally. Mrs. West was played by Sheila Grant, Ron Chiswell, David Neal, Gwen Chiswell, Diana Bishop, Ben Locker, William Edel, George Railton, Stephen Thorne. Pop was played by Peter Pacey, Frank by Neville Jason, Alec, David Goodison, Timber, Peter Craze, Paddy, Steve Hodson. Mrs. Lester and Betty, Anne Jameson, Joe and the Master Bomber, Michael Shannon. The play was produced and directed by Cherry Cookson.
At this time each Sunday, the National Broadcasting Company presents H.V. Kaltenborn, Dean of Radio Commentators, who today will analyze and interpret the day's startling news from the Pacific. Mr. Kaltenborn.
Good afternoon, everybody. Japan has made war upon the United States without declaring it. Airplanes, presumably from aircraft carriers, have attacked the great Pearl Harbor Naval Base on the island of Oahu in the Hawaiian Islands and have attacked Manila, capital of the Philippines. There has been damage. Some fires were started. About 50 planes participated in the attack on the Hawaiian Islands. Many, according to a bulletin that has just come in, were shot down. This attack occurred at the very moment when Ambassador Nomura and Special Envoy Caruso were at the State Department discussing the possibility of peace between Japan and the United States. We know that Japan set a precedent for this kind of attack in the Russo-Japanese War, when she attacked the Russian fleet without a declaration of war, while that fleet was not expecting attack. However, the United States was not unprepared for attack. Anti-aircraft guns immediately went into action and were responsible for bringing down many of the Japanese planes. We have no details from what happened in Manila, but they may come along before this broadcast is finished. Let me now tell you exactly what happened in the order in which it developed here in the NBC newsroom. At 2:25 came the first flash. White House announces Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor. 10 minutes later came this announcement from the White House that Japanese airplanes attacked Pearl Harbor and all naval and military activities on the island of Oahu. That is the principal island of the Hawaiian group. It is the one upon which American military and naval establishments are located. It is a great fortified center of American military and naval strength in the center of the Pacific. White House Secretary Early received the information from the President, who presumably received it directly from the Navy. And his announcement said, the Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor from the air and all naval and military activities on the island of Oahu, the principal American base in the Hawaiian Islands. That announcement was made to all press associations by telephone, and immediately after making it, Mr. Early hurried to the White House for conference with the President. The Navy refused to issue any statement on its own account and said that all information would be channeled through the White House. Following the attack on Pearl Harbor came news only 2 minutes later of the Japanese attack on Manila. The White House announced that the Japanese attack on Army and Navy bases at Manila was reported to the President. Then began the dispatches from private sources, from the Press Association representatives themselves. The United Press reported that Oahu Island was attacked by unidentified airplanes. It is natural that a press correspondent does not know just what particular nationality planes belong to, but the Navy knows Japanese planes when it sees them. Policemen and firemen were immediately ordered in a radio broadcast to go to the Army and Navy posts to which they were assigned in the city of Honolulu. The smoke of anti-aircraft guns rose over the Pearl Harbor Navy Yard immediately when the attack began. And heavy smoke also drifted up from Hickam Airfield in the Pearl Harbor area. This apparently from the fires set by incendiary bombs. Other witnesses said that fires broke out on Ford Island. Ford Island is an important military island located in the center of Pearl Harbor, and many military establishments are located on that island. The dispatch from Fort Shafter in Hawaiian Islands, which came by telephone from Honolulu, states that 50 unidentified airplanes attacked the island of Oahu. The main targets appeared to be Hickam Field and, of course, the great naval base at Pearl Harbor. So far as is known, the attacks on Hawaii and Manila were made wholly without warning. This is the first sentence of a statement that has just come from the State Department in Washington. The statement reads, so far as is known, the attacks on Hawaii and Manila were made wholly without warning when both nations were at peace. And they were delivered within an hour or so of the time that Japanese Ambassador Nomura and Japan's Special Envoy, Mr. Caruso, had gone to the State Department and handed to the Secretary of State Japan's reply to the Secretary's memorandum of November 26. You may remember that yesterday we received the reply from Japan to the President's comment and request for information with regard to troop movements in Indochina. This afternoon, Mr. Caruso and Mr. Nomura bring to the Secretary of State the reply to Mr. Hull's general memorandum in which he called for a return to the basic principles of international law. The State Department goes on in its special statement just issued. Quote, as soon as the information of the attack was received by the War and Navy Departments, it was flashed immediately to the President at the White House. The President directed the Army and Navy to execute the previously prepared orders looking to the defense of the United States. And you may rest assured that both our Army, and particularly our Navy and our Air Force, were not caught by surprise by this attack. They knew what they might have to expect, and they were ready for anything that might happen. They have been ready for a long time, and their readiness has been developed increasingly in recent weeks and days. Let me go back to the telephone message that came from Fort Shafter, Hawaii. 50 unidentified airplanes attacked the island of Oahu today. There's a first point. It indicates that it was a relatively small aircraft carrier that brought these planes. However, it's possible, of course, that these first 50 will return and that then others will take off and continue the attack. However, since the element of surprise is now over, it seems less likely that this particular aircraft carrier will linger very long in the vicinity where the great mass of the United States fleet is located. We'll get news of naval action before long. The main targets, this dispatch again declares, were Hickman Field, the great airfield, and the great naval base at Pearl Harbor. Obviously, bombing the airfield is intended to prevent the taking off of planes which would seek out the aircraft carrier or of fighting craft which would attack the attacking bombing planes. Here is information received by NBC from Honolulu. It says that the air attacks on Hawaii were staged by unidentified planes flying at an altitude of about 20,000 feet. Bombs fell near the building housing the Honolulu Advertiser. So far, there are no reports of damage. The defenses on the island immediately went into action. Anti-aircraft guns sent showers of shells into the air. Obviously, if the Japanese know what they're about, they will not waste their bombs on the city of Honolulu. They will concentrate them on the important military objectives at adjoining Pearl Harbor. Here is something from the White House. The President immediately called in the Secretaries of the War and the Navy and is now trying to contact his congressional leaders. That's the end of the statement that has just come from Washington. The latest information that they have in the capital is that the attacks are still in progress. That would be natural enough, since obviously this is the beginning and not the end of an important military action. We've just had word from Washington that an Army transport carrying lumber has been torpedoed 1,300 miles west of San Francisco. This is further evidence of a carefully, long-planned attack against the United States. This is evidence that Japanese warships, Japanese aircraft carriers, Japanese planes, Japanese submarines have for some time been en route to their stations for the attack on the United States, which is now underway. London was naturally electrified by the news of the air attack on Hawaii and on Manila. Official quarters in London had been alert for some signs of the first outbreak in the Far Eastern warfare, but they had not expected it to come from that area, which simply means that most of us had our attention diverted by the movement of Japanese ships in the direction of Singapore. Yesterday, you remember that the President had word that a large Japanese convoy was entering the Gulf of Siam. We have had word that large numbers of Japanese troops have been gathered in Indochina. And it is evident now that this was something of a blind, something to make us think that no nearer attack was impending. And obviously, it was all part of long-planned Japanese strategy to get all the advantage that comes when you get the jump on your potential enemy, when you are in action before he has had a chance to get into action, when you strike first. And that is exactly what Japan has done. There are unverified reports from Pearl Harbor that a foreign warship has appeared off Pearl Harbor and has begun firing at the defenses in that highly fortified post. The sound of cannon firing comes to Honolulu, to the UP correspondent, I believe it is, who is telephoning this story to the San Francisco Associated Press office. So it is the AP correspondent who tells us that there are unverified reports of a foreign warship appearing off Pearl Harbor. However, remember that the basis for that is cannon fire. And obviously, with bombs exploding in Pearl Harbor, with anti-aircraft cannon roaring in action, it is quite possible that it is these noises and not the attack of a warship on Pearl Harbor that was responsible. It seems unlikely that the Japanese, with such few fleet units as they could spare for an attack on Pearl Harbor, would risk those units in a direct attack on the great defenses of that naval base. Presidential Secretary Early declares this afternoon that so far as is known now, the attacks were made wholly without warning, at a time when both nations were at peace, and were delivered within an hour of the time that the Japanese ambassador went to the State Department to hand in the reply to the Secretary's memorandum of the 26th. Secretary of State Cordell Hull, today, according to a bulletin just in from Washington, angrily told the Japanese peace or war envoys that their government's answer to his recent document on the United States position in the Far East was crowded with infamous falsehoods and distortions. That frank speech from the Secretary of the United States to the envoys of Japan, it indicates the end of peaceful relations. It means that those envoys will be sent packing home, and the United States, through no fault of its own, without anything for which it is responsible, at the very moment when it was finally making a last effort to maintain peace, the United States has been attacked, and the United States will know how to answer that attack. Good afternoon.
You have been listening to Mr. H.V. Kaltenborn, noted news analyst. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The makers of Campbell Soup present the Campbell Playhouse. Orson Welles, producer. Good evening, this is Orson Welles. Our offering for tonight deals with those fabulous creatures who are rapidly becoming a race apart, the professional flyers of the world. While not exactly unheralded and unsung, not that is in regard to their spectacular conquest of the air in which they span whole continents and oceans without pause or stop, but in such everyday routine affairs as getting the mail through, no matter how inaccessible the destination, how menacing the elements. It's a fact that their achievements are taken much too much for granted. Tonight we deal with such a group of men. In this instance, flying all over a South American republic whose capital is here called Veronica, who themselves see nothing more unusual or heroic in what they're doing than if there were so many radio producers. Only Angels Have Wings is the title of our offering. It's still remembered happily by those who saw it as a Columbia picture production with Cary, Grant, Gene Arthur, and Richard Bosselman. Our guest star tonight is the beautiful and animated young lady from Hollywood who has rapidly worked her way into the affections of all of us with a number of distinguished and memorable characterizations, Miss Joan Blondell. But before our story begins, Mr. Ernest Chappell would like a word with the ladies especially. Chappell, sir. Thank you, Orson Welles. And I'll be direct and to the point. Tell me, do you still go to the trouble of making vegetable soup at your house?
Frankly, Mr. Chappell, I do. When it comes to the other soups, I serve Campbell's, but my mother and her mother before her...
I understand, madam. Making vegetable soup is a sort of a tradition in your family. Is that so?
Why, yes, you might call it that.
And I respect that tradition. But that's just the reason I'd like you, particularly, to try Campbell's vegetable soup. Quite apart from the kitchen time it will save you, you'll find when you taste it that Campbell's vegetable soup has the same slow-simmered, rugged beef stock as yours. And in it, 15 different kinds of vegetables, wholesome and tender and flavorful.
15 different vegetables, did you say? Well, that's many more than I ever think of using.
Yes, I guess it is, but that's what helps to make Campbell's vegetable soup so extra tempting that when home cooks try it, they decide then and there to let Campbell's make their vegetable soup for them.
Well, I'm going to try it, Mr. Chappell. It certainly sounds like the kind of vegetable soup I want my family to have.
I think you'll find it so. And I hope that every woman listening who hasn't tried vegetable soup as Campbell's make it will do so too. Will you? Soon. And now, Only Angels Have Wings, starring Orson Welles and Joan Blondell.
Oh, Purser.
Yes, Miss Lee.
How long do we stay in Barranca?
The ship sails at 4 a.m. We're sorry,
From the
but
looks of this place, that'll be long enough. Where's a good place to go?
there's only one place, the cafe at the airport. It's called the Dutchman.
If I had a quarter for every time I've been in a dump in the tropics called the Dutchman, how do you get there?
Just up that street, miss. It's the only one.
Cut off my legs and call me Shorty. Yeah, I'm going to talk to that dame, Les. Right off the ship like that, I got a notion she'd like to meet up with a nice guy like me.
Yeah, the last time you had a notion like that, Joe, you got your jaw broken.
Yeah, well, how was I to know she was a female heavyweight champion of the Argentine? Hey, hiya, babe.
If you banana cowboys don't go away and leave me alone.
We're not the banana
What do you
cowboys.
guys want?
It ain't fair to ask us that quick. We just want to buy you a drink.
Are you American?
Beautiful, we're so American, we don't even know the words of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, I just say so. I'll buy you a drink.
Fair enough.
Oh, it sure sounds good to hear something that doesn't sound like pig Latin. Where you from?
Well, I'm Les Peters.
Yeah, and I'm Joe Summer.
In New York and Kansas, that's us.
Hey, what's your name?
Bonnie Lee.
Well, boys, I'm glad you found some social life for yourselves, but where's the mail?
We dropped the mail bags in your office, Dutchie.
That's good, Les.
That's where we first spotted you, Miss Lee, down at the boat when we was getting the mail.
Dutchie, this is Miss Lee.
How do you do?
You. Miss Lee, this gentleman here is postmaster and leading banker of Veronica.
Also the owner of the general store, and you're right, and...
Manager, cook, waiter, and general staff of the hotel and restaurant you're in right now.
And outside of that,
I'll
right.
pay no attention to them, Miss Lee. My name's John Van Ryder. Shake.
Hello, Dutchie.
Hey, Dutchie, bring us a bottle of scotch, huh?
Sure.
Wait, just wait, Miss Lee. My scotch is marvelous.
My scotch is marvelous.
Want to have a drink
I make
with us,
myself.
Dutchie?
Sure, thanks, I will, but I'll have bourbon. I'll bring it right away.
Yeah, he makes his own peanuts, too.
Say, what are you fellas doing down here?
Yeah, same as everybody here. Working for the Dutchman.
Working at what?
We fly a little mail.
And things.
Here and there.
Who'd ever think there was a flying field in a place like this? Where is it?
What, the flying field?
Yeah.
Outside the door.
Yeah,
Dutchie owns that, too.
Yeah, you see, Dutchie owns the
Here you
flying
are.
field, and we throw it down.
Muchas gracias, senor
Hello, there.
Dutchie.
Well, what you doing down here, Miss Lee? On your way back to the States?
Yes, if I don't get a job in Panama.
Ah, professional, eh?
I quit a show in Valparaiso.
Hey, Dutchie, leave that bottle on the table.
Hey, you boys, better go easy.
Hey, what for? Why?
One of you has to fly the mail tonight.
Hey, I thought Tony was first out.
Now, Tony's got a touch of fever.
Hey, can you
Either
please
you
do
or
the
Joe.
thing?
Hey, he's right about drinking. If you boys are worried about...
We're not worried about who's going
Yeah,
out.
what we're worrying about is
Who
who's
is going to take you to dinner?
Yeah. Who said anything about staying for dinner?
Well, we'll send you a formal invitation later.
Yeah, say, how do you like your steak?
I don't know. You mean real American steak?
Well, I don't like to brag, Miss Lee, but how do you think I keep those boys down here?
Then I guess I'm staying for dinner.
Ah, you hear that noise. Ooh.
Joe Sutter, you're up next. Hey, Joe, stand by. Check this clearance.
Not me, Jeff. I'm having dinner with Miss Lee.
What?
What's going on here? This is Miss Lee, Mr. Jeff Carter.
How do you do?
Hello, Miss Lee. I'm sorry, Joe. The mail goes on schedule, and so do the pilots.
Now, since when, Jeff? Anyway, Les can take
I want Les to go to the warehouse and check over that stuff that came in on the boat.
Hey, that's an all-night job. What'd you think that up?
Just now. Come on, get going, Joe.
Yeah, but what about Miss
Don't
Lee?
you worry about Miss Lee. I'll be glad to take up where you left off.
Look here, mister. I got something to say about this, you know.
Chorus girl?
No, I do a specialty.
So much the better. Pick up that stuff on your way back from Las Cruces, Joe. See you later, Miss Lee.
Oh, you will you? Hey, who does that guy think he is?
He don't have to think who he is.
Yeah, he's the boss.
Well, he's not my boy.
Why don't you bet on that?
Well, so long, Bonnie. I'll be seeing you.
Goodbye, Joe.
Now, be careful, Joe. No chances.
How can he fly in this fog?
Well, it's just on the ground. It's only 200 or 300 feet thick. And what he's waiting for is the heavy stuff piled up in a pass.
Sounds like double talk to me.
The only way of getting inland from here is through a deep pass. It's about 14,000 feet in a low spot. We keep a lookup out there all the time to tell us when it clears.
Call in Veronica. Call in Veronica. Call in Veronica.
Okay, Tex, go ahead. That's the lookout I was telling you about, Barney.
How's the look up there, Tex? Jeff, you better hold Joe down there for a while.
I can't. He's already gone. You ought to be able to see him by now.
I can't see the tip of my nose. Jeff, it's closing in again. You can't tell what this stuff will do.
Okay, Tex. Les, you better stand by and put out a flare in case I don't get hold of him.
Never mind the flare, Jeff. Little Joey heard every word. What'll I do, come back?
Yeah. Look, Joe, it's pretty thick down here. Start letting down. You get over the fog. I'll line you up and talk you in.
Say, Jeff.
What?
Will you tell that beautiful blonde I'm still in the running, huh?
Will you stick to business, Joe?
Well, all I want to do is order 2 steaks for dinner.
Come on, everybody, out in the field.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I said all I want to do is order 2 steaks for dinner. How about it, Dusty?
Things okay, Carter.
Okay, Joe. Let's get going, kid.
Whatever you say, Jeff.
Plug in that field set. Get the big light ready.
Already done,
Turn it
Jeff.
straight up.
Straight up it is. Awful cold out here.
Light the bulbs.
Okay.
Joe Salter, Joe Salter.
Okay, Jeff. Coming down. On top of the fog is 1,500.
He's higher than I thought, Jeff.
You too. Watch carefully, Joe. We're turning on the lights.
Here they go.
There you are, Joe. Can you see him?
No, not a thing. Can't even see the glow.
Must be thicker than it looks.
It's pretty thick, all right.
Hey, pipe down on that piano. Cut it with a knife, all right, if you can see through to find a knife.
Cut that out!
I know just how Joe feels.
Now, look, Joe. Joe, pay attention. It's all closed in down here. You're west of the field. Joe, west of the field. You fly due east. Fly due east. Joe?
Fly 1,500 due east. Due east is 1,500.
Blink your motor, Joe. All right, Joe, you're passing over the field. Now go 1 mile, turn 180 degrees, and start letting it down. Watch for the lights.
He sounds a little south, Jeff.
Joe, you're a little south. A little south.
Okay, Jeff. Turning north.
I'll switch the light, Jeff.
Here I come. 1,200. 1,000. 800. 600.
Hey, Joe. Joe, you're coming in too high. You overshoot the field. Hey, it's better, Joe. Joe, make a turn. Go further back. Try it again.
Okay. I'm turning.
Look, Joe, can't you see the lights?
Nothing that even looked like a dim candle.
His line was okay, Jeff.
Yeah. Joe, your direction was perfect. Be sure to keep the same line.
All right, Jeff. I'm turning. Here I come.
Cut him 100, Sid.
500. 400.
Take it easy, Joe. Take it easy.
Shut up, Dutchie.
300.
Go now, Joe, cut her.
I'm down to 100 now, Jeff.
Jeff, that doesn't
Joe,
sound...
pull her up. Pull up. You're heading for the tree. Look, Joe. Joe, you had the wrong line, Joe. You're way off.
Okay, Jeff. Jeff, I saw the light. I'll get it next time.
Nothing doing, Joe. Don't take any more chances. You got 3 hours gas, so you better stay up there and cruise around.
In 3 hours, our Jeff will be almost on the boat by then.
Listen, I told you to stick to business. Now get up and top cruise around till it opens up down here.
That's right, Jeff. Don't let him do it.
Oh, Jeff, give me one more chance. Hey, Jeff, I think I see a hole. Yeah, I do see one.
Joe.
I'm coming down, Jeff.
Listen, Joe, you got your orders. Stay up there and quit worrying about that blonde.
It's all right, Jeff. I see the light. I'll make it easy.
Listen, Joe. Joe, pull up. Pull up. You're heading for that tree. Get the wagon. Come on, Ferris, here, in case you have to cut him out.
Okay, Jeff.
Dutchie, telephone the police. Tell them to clear the field and keep it that way. Hurry up.
Jeff, right away. You don't know you called you could, Jeff.
Yeah, Mr. Wise Guy, all right.
Do something. You need your lives. Don't stand there. How can you stand there doing
Cut it
nothing?
out. Haven't you caused enough trouble?
Call in Veronica. Call in Veronica.
Go ahead, Tex.
Hey, Jeff, it's all cleared up now. Hey, Jeff, the pass is clear. Jeff, did you get Joe down all right?
All except for one tree that's stuck up too high.
Oh, Mr. Carter.
Yeah?
Mr. Carter, do you think it was my fault what happened out there?
Sure, it was your fault. You were going to have dinner with him. The Dutchman hired him. I sent him up on schedule. The fog came and a tree got in the way. All your fault. Forget it. Unless you want the honors, come on, let's eat.
I will not.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Les. Where you been?
Down at the warehouse, checking up on those spare parts for you, like you told me. I missed all the excitement around here.
You sure did, Les. Gonna eat?
Sure.
Are you gonna change your mind, Miss Lee?
Certainly not.
Here's your steak, miss.
Here's the other one who wants it.
Put it right here.
Si, senor.
Hey, coffee.
Will you have some coffee, miss?
No.
Hey, the steak looks fine.
How can you do that?
Do what?
Eat that steak.
Hey, what's the matter with it?
It's his.
Look, what do you want me to do? Have it stuffed?
Haven't you got any feelings? Don't you realize he's dead?
Who's dead? You know anybody around here who's dead, Les?
News to me. Who's dead?
Joe.
Joe?
Joe who? Anybody know a Joe?
What's the matter with you? He was sitting here talking with us and laughing just a few minutes ago, and now...
Well, how do you like that? Don't say I told you, Jeff, but she slapped your face.
I know. Hey, you.
Don't
You little fool. Why don't you use your head? Come on, stop it.
Oh, I don't know how you can act like this. Why, that poor kid.
Yeah, I know. He's dead.
Yes, he's dead.
That's right. He's been dead for about 20 minutes. And all the weeping and wailing in the world won't make him any deader 20 years from now. If you feel like bawling, how do you think we feel?
I know how I feel.
You go on outside and walk around, stay there until you can pull all that together. If you can't do it, don't come back at all.
Hi, lady.
Oh, I didn't mean to make a scene, but I...
Don't call me mister. Call me kid.
Oh, okay, kid. You see,
I know. That's why I followed you out here. I kind of figured...
Kid, can you kick real hard?
Well, maybe you don't need it.
I think I'd feel better. You know, all my life I've hated funerals. Fuss and the bother that never brings anybody back and just spoils them, remembering them as they are. And yet when I see people actually facing it that way, I'd act like a sap. You know, this flying business is all new to me.
Oh, you'll learn, or you won't, and then it won't make any difference.
This sort of thing happens very often.
Well, that depends on the weather and the luck. We've gone spades twice in the last 3 months, not counting this one.
Suppose you'll be at it again tomorrow.
Tonight, if it clears.
You must love it. Flying, I mean.
Oh, why do you think we came to this kind of a place?
Just like being in love with a buzzsaw. No future in it. What is there about it that gets you?
Huh?
I said, what is there about it that gets you?
Oh, I've been in it 22 years, and I couldn't give you an answer that make any sense.
That's funny.
Well, what's so funny about that?
My dad used to say.
Flyer?
No, trapeze, high stuff. He would use a net.
Not much future in that, either.
We found that out. So tell me about this head man, this Jeff over here. Does he go up too?
Well, only when he thinks it's too tough for anybody else.
Well, that just goes to show you how wrong you can be.
Well, I've been Jeff's closest friend ever since he was old enough to have friends. And you can take it from me. You got no idea how wrong you can be about him if you're a girl. He's the greatest guy in the world, but he's an awful good guy for a gal to stay away from.
I'll remember that. Thanks.
But stick around if you want to. If you want a drink or two, help yourself. Good night, Miss Lee.
Bye, Dutchie.
Drop in again sometime when you come this way.
Thank you, I will.
All finished?
All finished.
Yeah.
Goodbye, mister. Too bad Veronica's so far from Brooklyn.
What's your hurry? It's only a few minutes after 12. Your boat doesn't sail till 4 o'clock.
When are you going to get some sleep?
After your boat sails. How about a drink?
Aren't you just wasting your time?
Well, that's a point that's open to argument.
What I'm afraid of.
What?
Those arguments.
What's the matter with them?
Well, they're too one-sided.
Well, no hard feelings.
Your apologies accepted. Say, tell me something, will you? What was she like, anyway?
Who?
That girl that made you act the way you do. Still carrying a torch for her, aren't you?
Got a match?
Don't you ever have any?
No, don't believe in laying in a supply of anything.
Masters, marbles, money, or women?
That's right.
No looking ahead, no tomorrows, just today.
That's right.
Is that why she gave you the air?
Who?
That girl?
Listen to me. I wouldn't ask any woman. Did you ever know a woman who didn't want to make plans, map out everything, get it all set?
Well, if
I
that's
don't
a
blame them,
crime.
I guess. It's the only way they can operate, run a home and have kids.
Didn't you ask her to?
Who?
That girl!
I told you I wouldn't ask.
What if she was willing to?
That's what they all say. Women think they can take it, but they can't. The minute you get up in the air, they start calling the airport. When you get down, you find them waiting for you, so scared they hate your insides.
Oh, girl.
No, if there's anything else you'd like to know about me, I'd be only too glad. Would you like to go over to my room? Got some letters from home. Pictures of my father and mother. Pictures of me the first time I went up in the air. Pictures of my first crash.
Pictures of you when you were a baby?
I don't remember. Want to go and look?
Sure.
Okay. See that door?
Uh-huh.
Okay. We'll open it. Keep right on going. Just follow your nose, and it'll take you right back to the boat. And take care of yourself, you silly kid.
To take care of myself. I've been taking care of myself.
Oh, Jeff.
What is it, kid?
Tex just called from the lookout. He says the pass is cleared.
All right. Wind up number 7, put some coffee in it.
Already did.
So long, Bonnie. Have a nice trip.
Hey, wait a minute. Gone up yourself?
Sure.
When will you be back?
Next week, 2 o'clock.
What is it now?
Just gonna kiss you goodbye. There.
What do you want me to say? Thank you?
That's what you feel like saying. Let's try it again. I kind of like it. So long.
Things certainly happen fast around here, kid. Don't they?
Uh-huh.
You are listening to Orson Welles in the Campbell Playhouse presentation of Only Angels Have Wings with Joan Blondell. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Te he buscado por donde quiera que voy y no te puedo hallar. Una mentira, otros besos y tus labios no me quieren ya besar. Y tú, quién sabe por dónde andaba, quién sabe qué aventura tendrá que lejos está de mí. Si puedes tu conmigo saber, pregunta si yo alguna vez he dejado de
This is Ernest Chappell, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming you back to the Campbell Playhouse. In a moment, we shall resume our presentation of Only Angels Have Wings. But first, if you want to know what people eat, ask your grocer. I have a grocer friend I see quite a lot of. I like to check my ideas with him, sort of get his ideas about the things I tell you from week to week. The other afternoon, I was chatting with him, and I asked him, among other things, if he had noticed that more and more of his customers were giving up making soup at home. He nodded and pointed to the shelf where he keeps his Campbell soup. Every morning, he said, I'd stock that shelf full. Well, look at it now. That's the best answer I can give you. And you know, to me, that seemed a pretty good answer, too. Now, I'm wondering, perhaps you are drawing regularly on the Campbell soup shelf at your grocer's. Perhaps you're enjoying your favorite soup as Campbell's make them. Fine-flavored, nourishing, really home-like soups. But if not, if you haven't yet turned your soup making over to Campbell's, won't you try them? I believe your family will enjoy them so keenly that, well, you'll decide then and there to let Campbell's make all your soups for you. Now we resume our Campbell Playhouse presentation of Only Angels Have Wings, starring Orson Welles and Joan Blondell.
What are you doing, Jeff? Setting records? That was a pretty quick trip you made.
Shut up, kid.
I still say it was a pretty quick trip.
What do you mean quick?
Well, it wasn't slow.
When you're in a ship, you go as fast as the ship. You ought to know that by now.
Sure, and a ship's got to go as fast as you want it to. I know that, too.
All right. Let's have a hot cup of coffee. Carlos, a hot cup. What do you say? A prisa, pronto.
Yeah, boy.
Have some, kid?
Nope, I had already. But if you're looking for company for breakfast, that table right back of the post...
What do you mean, that table? Oh. What are you doing here?
Having a breakfast?
Is your boat still in? I don't see it from here.
No, you don't.
Aquí está.
Variate. Happened to get left behind.
Oh, just...
Yeah, well, go on.
Well, I told the man to put my trunk on the dock.
Why?
Well, I couldn't stay over without having anything to wear now, could I?
It's been done.
That's funny. Here, by all rights, I ought to be sound asleep on that boat, far out to sea, and yet...
She's not so far out to sea as you think, lady.
What isn't?
The boat. Hey, kid.
Yeah?
Put some more gas in number 7. Call up Santa Maria and have them hold the boat till we get there. Where's your luggage?
Over there.
Good. Well, what are you waiting for, kid?
That boat doesn't stop at Santa Maria this trip.
Why not?
They have no bananas.
They have no bananas?
Yes, they have no bananas.
Look, mister, you don't have to bother about me.
James, not me. I don't get burned twice in the same place.
There's another boat leaving next week. I'll be on it.
Good. I gotta get some sleep. See you later, kid.
Well, Barney, if you're going to be here for a week, we better find some place for you to park.
Thanks, kid. I won't need a parlor, just a nice room with a bath.
To tell you the truth, Barney, I know we ain't got a room with a bath. I hope I can find you one with a room.
Hey, Dutchie.
All right. I'm only the owner. What is it?
That's what I mean. You're behaving like a guest.
Oh, I got to go someplace, eh?
Right. You gotta meet the southbound boat, Dutchie.
Why don't you send less?
It ain't polite to send less. We got that new flyer coming in. Go on, Dutchie. Make him feel good. You know, go and meet him in person. You kind of get the idea you care. See what I mean?
You sure you ain't just sending me down because I look comfortable?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Oh.
What's that new guy's name, Les?
Byfield, eh?
Yeah, that's it. Byfield.
Well, who is he? Where'd the...
what's the difference, Dutchie? As long as he can fly, we can't afford to be too fussy down here. Go on down and meet the boat, Dutchie.
All right. The owner should go. The owner should sweep out too, and the owner should make the drinks, and the owner should...
Number 7, calling Barranca. Number 7, calling Barranca.
Go ahead, kid.
Let me talk to Jeff, will you?
Hello, Grandpa.
Say, Jeff, you need an elevator to get down in this place.
I told you nobody could set down that canyon, Jeff. It don't make sense.
Makes sense if you do it. What's the matter? The wind bad?
Man, did you ever sit down in here, Jeff?
Yeah, once. It's about as easy as getting a piano over a transom. Come on back if you can make it.
Okay, I'm coming back.
Well, here's the mail.
Hello. Where's the new pilot?
He's putting his things in his room.
I'll give you a hand with those bags in a minute, Dutchie.
All right.
Don't strain yourself.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Quite all right, Dutchie. Quite all right.
You're all right, Mr. Byfield. It'll do. Well, let's get you acquainted around here. This is Mr. Byfield, our new flyer.
Yeah, welcome to our fair city.
That's Peter.
How are you?
Hello? Pete Shelton.
How are you?
How are you? Too early to buy a drink?
Yeah, I guess not. Let's sit down. Hey, where you from?
Mexico City.
What kind of stuff are they using up there?
Oh, some old Fokkers and Fords.
Oh, Jeff.
Yep.
This is Mr. Byfield.
Yeah. Glad to see you, Mr. Byfield.
Well, gents, drinks?
No, we won't be drinking with this guy.
What's this all about?
Your name isn't Byfield at all, fella. It's Ashton Stevens.
Did you say Stevens, Jeff?
That's what I said, Les.
Pat Stevens?
That's right. My name's Stevens. Pat Stevens.
Well, what of it, Les?
He's not the first guy that came down here under a different name.
No, Pete, but he's the first pilot who ever bailed out of his plane and let his mechanic crash.
Oh, that's the way you tell it.
Yeah, that's the way I tell it, Stevens. If you like to make anything out of it...
Cut it out, Les. Stevens, did you know the kid was working down here?
What?
He is.
No, I didn't know it.
Look, Jeff, maybe you tell poor old Dutchie what this is all about. He doesn't know anything. What's the kid got to do with it?
Nothing. Except that it was the kid's younger brother that was killed when this guy took to his parachute.
What? Yeah, I've had enough of this guy.
Me too. Come on, Les. Let's find another tape.
Right. Come on, Jeff.
That's good enough for me.
Oh, you're not so particular, huh?
No. I don't think even you could spoil my breakfast.
Thanks. I'm not used to these small favors.
Sorry I said it. Not used to being around people like you. As long as I gotta talk to you, Stevens, here's a piece of news for you. That was the kid that come in on that ship just now.
What? Jeff, what are we going to do? What
Quiet, Dutchie. Better make yourself scarce, Stevens, because for your information, the kid carries a gun.
See, you're getting kind of careful of me all of a sudden.
I'm not worrying about you. I just wouldn't like to have the kid doing it. It'd be kind of inconvenient for me right now if they slapped the kid in the hoosgow.
Well, I'll have to meet him sooner or later, won't I?
Yeah, maybe you're right. Anyhow, it's your funeral. Might be, too, at that.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, kid.
Whew, it's hot down here on the ground. Give me some cold water, Dutchie.
Okay.
Who's got a match? Hey, what's the matter? It's like walking in the graveyard. Oh, hello there. You the new guy?
He's the new guy.
Well, welcome to our city.
Hello, kid.
Hey, wait a minute. I know you.
Yes, I think you do.
Yeah, sure. Long time no see, Stevens.
That's right.
Get easy, kid.
Okay, Jeff, okay. You know what I think of you, don't you, Stevens?
Let's go ahead.
2 years ago, I'd have broken your neck.
Well, there's nothing I can say, I guess.
That's right. Just you keep out of my way. I might still do it. It's none of my business, Jeff, but I don't know why you stopped.
You're right, Les. It's none of your business.
Father, listen, you got to believe me. I have no idea that
Nothing
he was
you
down
can say that I'll believe, Stevens. As long as you fly where I tell you, all right.
Jeff, you're not going to put this guy to work.
You remember we was talking about things that were none of your business, Les?
Now, wait a minute, Jeff. I'm not going to allow
Who's
you...
running this airline, Dutchie?
Wait.
You are. That's what I mean. Come on with me, Stevens. You do some pretty queer things, Stevens.
Byfield. Byfield's the name.
Yeah, Byfield. That's what I'm talking about. What made you think you could get away with coming
Let's get
down
this over with. When does the next boat leave?
Got enough dough for your passage?
No.
That's swell. Wonder if I could
Put what?
cram you down their throats.
That bunch out there? Well, I wouldn't mind choking a few of them.
Well, here it is. Every now and then we get a job around here that I wouldn't send a friend of mine out on, see? Wouldn't even go myself. Well, it looks like that might be a spot for you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Kind of nice for me, having someone I can send out in any kind of weather, any kind of job, and only worry about the ship getting back.
Yeah, some of those ships aren't worth much.
Mm-hmm. It's just it. Still want the job on those terms?
I don't know any other way I'd want it.
Hey, Jeff.
What is it?
Well, they're loading number 8 with nitroglycerin.
I know. Taking it to the oil fields on your way out.
But say, Jeff, we aren't supposed to fly that stuff with the mail.
I know we aren't, Dutchie.
There's nothing in my contract that says I'll fly nitroglycerin.
You're getting $1.50 a mile for doing
Not me.
What?
Jeff, I saw a guy blow a tire once. I was way down on the other end of the field, and it broke a bottle in my hip pocket.
Give me a map, Pete. Byfield.
If you're figuring on me flying
That's
nitroglycerin...
just exactly what I'm figuring. You took this job with the understanding...
Okay. Only nitroglycerin. Well, you weren't kidding me, were you?
I never kid people I don't like. Hey, Dutchie.
Yeah?
Figure out Pete's time. You're through, Pete.
Hey, what's the matter with you? Wait a minute, Jeff. You can't blame that boy.
I'm not blaming him, but he's fired, that's all. Sorry, Pete.
Jeff, I don't like the way you're...
You better clear the field before Byfield takes off, Dutchie. It's nitro, you know.
My goodness, yes. I didn't think of that at all.
It'd be a little late to think of it after he hits the nitro.
Hey, don't come in. Don't come in.
Who's that?
Me. I'm taking a bath.
Now, this is my room.
I'd take it in my room if I could. Can't bet take a bath in a wash basin, you know.
All right, hurry it up.
I'm hurrying.
What's that?
What's what?
All this cooking.
Oh, that's coffee. Don't touch it. It's hot.
Yeah.
You'll burn yourself.
Boiling, wait a minute.
Ouch! I told you so. Let me see it. That is a burn. I'll put some butter on.
I don't want any butter on
My
it.
grandmother always used to use
You
butter.
kid, I want you to take this coffee pot out of here.
Ooh. I thought you never did that.
Did what?
Get burned twice in the same place. Where do you keep those pictures?
What pictures?
Those pictures of you when you were a baby.
Yeah, we're right back where we started, aren't we, Bonnie?
Oh, that was a million years ago. I know you a lot better now.
Oh, hey. Oh, your foot.
I slipped on the porch.
You little chump, don't go walking around on it. It's sprained.
Nothing's the matter with it. I just...
Hey, here, let me put you down somewhere. Here on the...
sprained. I just lost the heel off my slipper, that's all.
Now, why'd you say so?
Don't I have the darndest luck losing one heel right after another?
You're a queer duck, Bunny.
So are you.
Hey, Bunny. I want to ask you something, Bunny.
Go ahead.
You want me to kiss you like this, carrying you, or you want me to put you down on your feet first?
Well, you can kiss me like this, and if you put me down, that way you'll get another chance.
Thanks. I just got no vision, I guess.
Jeff, you don't have to be afraid of me anymore. I'm not going to tie you down. I don't want to plan. I don't want to look ahead. I don't want to change anything. I love you, Jeff. There's nothing I can do about it. I just love you, that's all. I feel the same way about you the kid does. Anything you do is all right with me.
The kid?
Yeah. He doesn't ask you for anything or get in your way or bother you, does he?
He drives me nuts.
Hey, Jeff. Oh,
Come in, kid.
Well, the boys are ready to test those motors, Jeff.
Okay, kid. So long, Bonnie.
You don't mean you're...
There you go. I told you. I'm a sucker for telling you this, Bonnie. I'd go anyway, but right now it's more important than ever. Dutchie's got a test contract with the government that expires tonight. If we make this flight okay, everything is Jake. If we don't, forget I explained it to you, will you, please?
Okay,
I didn't say
I'll
it.
forget, only...
Only you won't. What a sap I am.
That's something I'll remember.
Oh, by the way, Bonnie, take a look through this box. Maybe you'll be able to find it. It's somewhere in there.
What is?
That baby picture we were talking about, it's kind of cute. I'm nude on a bare rug.
I can't wait.
And keep the coffee warm, will you?
Well, that's that. The boat's in on time. This kind of a storm, I thought sure that she'd be a little bit late.
Yeah, that'd be a lesson to you, kid. Even you can be wrong. Calling lookout! Calling lookout! Call lookout! Go ahead, Jeff. Stand by, Tex. The boat's in. Number 4, taking off as soon as the mail gets up here. Jeff, you can't get through this stuff. I don't expect to, Tex. Gonna try to go over the top. That doesn't sound so good to me. Me either, only I ain't sounding it, I'm flying it. Okay, Jeff. Thanks for that ship, kid.
All set, Jeff. Can't do any more. I took out all the seats and stripped it clean.
Well,
got out almost 400 pounds. You know, that's just more than twice what I weigh.
That's all you can do.
Now, look here, Jeff.
I heard you the first time.
But, Jeff...
You're not going, kid. Forget it.
Why not?
Forget it because I am. I'm not asking anybody to go out on a night like this.
You don't have to
I'm
ask
not
me.
letting anybody else go but me either.
I'll toss you a coin for it. Heads, I go.
All right, we'll toss. Only heads I go.
Oh, let me have heads, will you, Jeff?
No, heads I go.
But I'd rather have heads. I'm superstitious.
Give me that coin.
Well, Jeff,
Oh. You're superstitious about heads, are you? Heads on both sides, that's all it is.
Well,
No wonder I've been buying you drinks all year.
Well, what do you know about that?
Dutchie, you went down to meet the boat.
Why ask me, Mr. Carter? What have I got to do with it? You are running this airline, aren't you? Stevens going to pick up the mail, Jeff.
Thanks, Joe.
For your information, Mr. Carter, I want to ask you a question. Don't you think you're crazy to try to fly in this kind of weather?
Get the lights ready on the field, kid.
Okay, Jeff.
I've told you so many times that whatever... Oh, Jeff, whatever you do, don't think you have to do it for me. I know what it means, but I'd rather be broke. I don't care whether we get the contract or not. Understand?
Don't strain yourself, Dutchie. I'm flying. Using my room to take a bath once, but if you're starting in housekeeping...
I thought you might want a little coffee. Be careful. Boiling hot when I put it there. Don't burn yourself again.
Thanks, I won't. Anything else?
No. Oh, have a nice trip, Jeff. We'll see you in the next week. 2:00.
Where you going?
Back to the States tonight.
Hey, isn't that the outfit you came to shore in?
How'd you remember that?
I got systems for remembering things. Got a match?
Hey, don't you think it's about time you started carrying some?
Pretty late to begin getting new habits,
You
isn't
never
it?
carry matches. No matter what anybody says to you, you never carry matches.
What's wrong?
You carry matches now and then,
What's
Jeff.
all this?
I'm sorry to be so silly. I wanted to do this just the way you'd want me to. And I was all right up to the time you asked that match, wasn't I?
Yeah, you sure was. Say, Bonnie, are you sorry about anything?
You.
No, I'm not. So long, Bonnie.
Aren't you going to kiss me?
Sure.
Oh, Jeff, I can't let you go.
Give me back my gun.
No, I won't.
You're crazy. Give me that gun.
You're not going to go, Jeff. You're not going to say this.
Put that down.
I want to see this out.
Bonnie, you're just like all the rest, aren't you? Every other
really
day.
intend to go.
Yes, oh. Go away, Bonnie. Go away. Get out of here.
I didn't mean to. I just didn't want you to go.
You don't aim good. All you got was my shoulder.
Hey, what's going on, Chief?
Shot.
Where's the first aid? Over in the corner. I've been covered there. Send for a doctor, somebody. Who did it?
I did.
You? How did it happen?
I didn't want him to go.
Well, he's not going now. Now, Bonnie, put some water on his stove. What about the bullet, Mayor?
It didn't come through. It's still in there.
How's it look, you lad? It's all right. But you're not going to do much flying with it.
Hello, Bat. Oh. Hey, Bat, it's almost too much to ask you, Bat, but I guess you'll have to do it.
Yeah, I always arrive in time for good news. How were you going to get through all that stuff?
Over the top, the new tri-motor.
Will she go that high?
I'll see. You find out.
I'll see what you find out.
You want to take a kid with you?
Anything you pay at the quarters. Well, let me alone. Let me go alone.
Now, kid. You don't have to go Byfield. It's not that kind of a job.
That's fair enough. I'll see you out on the field in 5 minutes, kid. What's our altitude, Stephen? 2,500. Don't you think we ought to get a radio check? Yeah, give me the mic. Calling Barranca. Calling Barranca.
Go ahead, kid.
Hiya, Jeff. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait a minute, kid. Wait a minute. You're color. Try it again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's better, but there's a lot of half, kid. You may have to repeat everything.
Okay. Calling Barranca. Calling Barranca. We're 3,500. 3,500. Still on instruments. Still on instruments. Calling Barranca. Calling Barranca. 8,000. 8,000. On top first layer. On top first layer. Calling Barranca. Calling Barranca. 14,000. 14,000. Picking up a little ice. We're to climb 320. To climb 320. Calling Barranca. Calling Barranca. 15,600. 15,600. Near ceiling. Near ceiling. I don't think she'll take much more. Yeah, she's beginning to mush. Hold your hand. Here she goes. You all right, Stephen? I'm all right. What do we got under it? You're safe for 6,000. I'll wait till the air gets heavier, then I'll straighten her off. Yeah. I never saw one of these things yet that could sail through the side of a mountain.
I wonder what's wrong with the kid.
There he is. Calling Barranca. Calling Barranca.
Go ahead, kid.
Jeff, we can't make it. Got almost 16,000 and the bottom came out.
All right, come on back.
Well, not a chance, Jeff. We're not coming back.
We're going through the pass. Listen, kid. Tex says it's closed in tight. Turn around, come back. Those are orders, you hear? No dice, Jeff. I order you. Well, I haven't heard you for the last 5 minutes. Signing off. Get Tex, Les. Tell him to look for them.
Hey, calling lookout. Calling lookout.
Go ahead, Les.
Now watch for number 4, Tex. They're going to try the pass.
They can't make it. It's closed in thicker than glue.
We're not going to make it, Stevens. Get in one of those chutes and jump. Is there any reason I can't stay with the ship, too? You don't have to. Which way is the path from here? 10 degrees north and 3,000 up. Okay. To the left.
Calling Veronica.
Go ahead, Tex.
They just went by here throttled down and feeling their way. I tried to talk to them, but they wouldn't answer.
Keep trying.
Okay.
How you coming, Stevens? Okay, only I don't like these big birds around here. Oh, the pass is full of them this time of year. Condors. Hit one, she goes right through the windshield. I don't like them. It's tough enough not knowing your direction without... Oh! Are you all right, kid? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Get out quick, jump!
Well, I must have broken my... I can't move. You'll jump yourself.
No, not this time. We'll get down.
Go on, jump, you fool.
I made my last jump. We're turning back, and we're making it if we can.
Oh, if I could only move, I'd pick you up and... There, we're burning.
Yeah, we've been burning for over a minute.
Calling Veronica. Calling Veronica. Calling Veronica.
Go ahead, Tex.
Jeff, number 4 is on fire. Left outboard, nose motor. They're headed back to you, and I don't think they can make it.
Out on the field, everybody. Plugging that outside set.
Listen, kid. Yeah, their receiver's no good if they're burning, Jeff.
Kid. Calling number 4. Calling number 4.
Look, Jeff. There they are.
There's a big torch. I don't see how they...
They'll never get it down,
Kid. Stevens, number 4. Jump. Stay low.
It's right, Steve. Go on this way.
Keep on pulling. Get him on.
Come on now.
You all right, Stevens?
I'm all right. But the kid's hurt pretty bad.
Plenty of him. Take him over there, boy.
Okay, easy now. Come on.
Look out, he's hurt bad. Easy. Take the kid inside, boys.
What's this?
Just a pat on the shoulder.
I'm all right, I tell you. If this doctor'd only quit. Oh, Jeff, tell this guy to quit fussing with me, will you? I'm all right.
I'll leave him alone, Doc.
Oh, Jeff, give us a cigarette, will you?
Yeah.
How's the other guy?
Hands burned. One side of his face is on.
Stephen's all right, Jeff. He could have jumped, but he didn't, even after we was burning. He just sat there and took it like it was an ice cream soda. So, Jeff, buy him a drink for me, will you?
Sure, I'll buy him a drink.
Oh, God, if it hadn't been for those birds, we'd have made it.
Sure you would.
Yeah. I might design a windshield at an angle, then they'd bounce off.
Not a bad idea.
I'll make you a present of it, Jeff.
Say.
When I get on my feet, we'll work it out. Or will we?
Your neck's broken, kid.
Well, no wonder I couldn't feel anything. Well, I guess this is it, huh?
Oh, with a chance?
Sure. Hey, Jeff, don't let anybody else in here, huh?
Whatever you say.
Oh, you see, I don't want them to see me. I'm not afraid, Jeff. I ain't scared, but well, I don't want anyone else to see me.
Sure, I know.
It's like doing anything new. It's just like my first solo. I didn't want anybody watching me then either. You see, Jeff, I don't know how good I'll be at this.
You want me to go too, kid?
Well, Jeff, I'd sure hate to pull a boner in front of you.
Sure, I know. I'll go. So long, kid.
So long, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I think I'm going to take it fine. Yeah, I think you're going to be proud of me, Jeff.
Calling lookout.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I mean, over the minute it clears, Tex. We're all set to go down here.
What about the kid, Jeff?
Broke his neck. Took off a few minutes ago.
Oh.
Hello, Pete.
I took care of everything on the field.
Thanks. Give me a drink, will you, Dutchie?
Yeah, you better make me one too, Dutchie.
What is it, Stephen?
Somebody said you wanted to see me.
Yeah, the kid asked me to buy a drink.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Dutchie, put it over on the table here, will you?
Well, wait a minute.
What is it now?
Why not have it with us?
Sure. Why not?
Have a cigarette, Stephen.
Hey, how are the hands coming? Well, not bad.
Here's your drink.
Careful with those hands. You got it?
I'm all right. Well, here's how. Here's to you, Bat.
Here's to you, Bat. Thanks.
Well, so long, Les.
You going, Bonnie?
Nobody asked me to stay.
Well, but aren't you going to say goodbye to Jeff?
Why?
Well, I think you ought to.
You do?
Yeah, I think he'd want you to.
You sure?
Well, he might not act like it, but I think he would.
Well, if you think I ought to...
Yeah, I think you should.
I don't mind doing it if you say so.
Yeah, I do say so.
You do? Well, guess I better go ahead and do it then.
Hello, Bonnie.
I thought I ought to... Well, Les said that he thought that before I'd go, I'd better... Gee, I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, then.
Well, all I wanted to say is that... Well, he said that you'd like it, but I don't know. You know.
I know. You want me to carry matches from now on. Well, Bonnie, I make you a promise. I'll carry matches all the time.
Jeff.
All the time.
Jeff, you're crying.
You're crazy.
You're crying, Jeff. Oh, please don't. I'd never be
You'll never be able to what, honey?
I'd never be able to say it.
Say what?
I was going to say goodbye.
Well?
Jeff, do you want me to stay or don't you?
Well, Bonnie...
Call in Veronica. Call in Veronica. Say, what's the matter down there? Call in Veronica.
Go ahead, Tex.
Say, Jeff, the storm's breaking up.
Yeah?
The wind's thumping down to a whisper.
Okay, how's the pass?
Clearing up faster than a cat can lick up cream.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, what is it, Jeff?
Wind up number 7, the pass is clearing.
The moon's breaking through.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Here she comes. She's shining harder than $700.
Yeah?
On your way, Jeff.
Well, Dutchie, what do you say to that?
What can I say? Nobody cares.
The pass is clearing. We just got time to make it.
Well, who's going to fly?
I've got one good arm, haven't I? Dutchie, your contract's as good as in the bag.
Come on, Jeff.
So long, Bonnie. Keep that coffee warm. I'll be back for breakfast.
I don't be here. Going on the boat.
What?
Nobody asked me to stay.
Oh, they haven't?
No. You wouldn't ask anybody to do anything, would you?
That's right. Here, we'll flip a coin. Tails, you go. Heads, you stay. It's heads. Hey, you're not going to renege on this, are you? It was the kid's coin.
I won't stay that way.
You won't? It's got heads on both sides.
No, I got... What? Oh, Jeff.
That's better.
Well, aren't you going to kiss me?
When I get back. Yeah, maybe if I was to kiss you now, I wouldn't, Yeah. When I get back, Bonnie.
I guess it'll always be like that. When you get back.
You have been listening to Orson Welles in the Campbell Playhouse presentation of Only Angels Have Wings with Joan Blondell. Mr. Welles will be back with us in just a moment, and in that moment, something of moment, particularly to the men among our listeners. Let me ask you, doesn't old-fashioned vegetable soup fit in with your idea of a hearty good eating? Picture a piping hot plateful of Campbell's vegetable soup at your place at the table. Its inviting look and the rich aroma in the curling steam sharpen your appetite. You dip in and bring up brimming spoonfuls of the deep-flavored beef stock and tender, luscious garden vegetables. And as spoonful follows spoonful, you continue to enjoy this vegetable soup of Campbell's down to the very last. Now tell me, isn't that a picture that depicts a wet, seizing revival of public interest in the field of fiction for stories dealing with our beginnings as revival of public interest in the field of fiction for stories dealing with our beginnings as a nation? Easily the most distinguished worker in this field is Kenneth Roberts, whose series of early American novels has become a bestseller. High among these, along with his Northwest Passage, is Rabble in Arms, a fascinating chronicle of General Burgoyne's defeat at Saratoga by the desperate revolutionists under the inspiring leadership of a beloved officer, later to become even better known in American history as Benedict Arnold. For our guest star, we're pleased to announce Miss Frances D., happily remembered for her performance a few weeks ago in Come and Get It. She'll be with us again, as she promised. And so until then, she'll be with us again, as she promised. And so until then, else remain, as always, obediently yours. The makers of Campbell's Soup join Orson Welles in inviting you to be with us in the Campbell Playhouse again next Sunday evening when we present Kenneth Roberts' Rabble in Arms. And as our guest star in Rabble in Arms, you will hear Miss Frances D. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed tonight's Playhouse presentation, won't you tell your grocer so tomorrow when you order Campbell's Vegetable Soup? This is Ernest Chappell saying thank you and good night.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Screen Guild play tonight, Spitfire. The starring players.
This is Basil Rathbone.
This is Heather Angel.
And this is Reginald Gardner.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in Spitfire, the last film to be made by Leslie Howard. It stars Basil Rathbone as R.J. Mitchell, Heather Angel as his wife Diana, and Reginald Gardner as Flight Commander Jeffrey Crisp. Winston Churchill said, "Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few." Our play tonight is based on the life of the first of those few, R.J. Mitchell, the designer of the Spitfire fighter plane, which enabled a comparative handful of English boys to repel the Nazi hordes during the terrible blitzes of 1940. Our story begins outside a fighter squadron dispersal hut, where Flight Commander Jeffrey Crisp, R.J. Mitchell's lifelong friend and test pilot, is telling his flyers about the plane they fly and Mitch, the man who brought it into being.
2 years after his plane had won the Schneider Cup trophy for England, permanently, Mitch seemed unable to interest himself in anything but his garden. You see, boys, there were no more races to win, no more record-breaking planes to build, and Mitch himself was tired, worn out by the constant battle he had fought to get his ideas across. So Mitch's wife, Diana, and I conspired to take him on a holiday in Germany. There at the Richthofen Club in Berlin, Mitch found a new purpose in life.
We will drink the health of our honored guests. Herr Mitchell's name and work are well known in our country, and Herr Crisp, whom we already met in the last war, is a pilot of great distinction.
Thank you very much. And my wife and Mr. Crisp say thank you, too. I'd heard a lot about what you were doing in Germany, and I must say I'm very impressed by what I've seen. Healthy, well-organized youth, peace-loving people, good company. Thanks very much.
Herr Mitchell, you must meet a competitor of yours.
Competitor?
Yes, Dr. Paul Messerschmidt.
Oh. How do you do?
You enjoy your stay in Germany?
Very much indeed, thank you. We've only been here a week, but we're looking forward to another 5.
If I can help you to see anything special, Herr Mitchell.
Oh, thanks. I've already visited one of your gliding clubs.
Gliders? Oh, yeah, but they have their uses.
You think we make only gliders, but why?
I don't want to be tactless, but...
The Versailles Treaty?
Well, I suppose so, yes.
The Versailles Treaty is dead.
Oh, I see. But, rather, I don't think I do.
It's quite simple, Mitch. The Versailles Treaty is dead.
It is history, and like history, it is all over. What is important is what you do in the future. The same with other historical events. They are past. We look to the future and Adolf Hitler.
Adolf who?
Hitler.
Oh. Well, all that's very interesting, but of course it's just your point of view.
One day it will be yours, because here now, Mr. Crisp, we are preparing to make history.
Well, what's wrong with history the way it is?
We Germans have had enough of being underdogs. Under Hitler, we shall be overlords.
Now, wait a minute. Being an overlord means somebody else being an underdog. And supposing the underdog more than you do, what happens then?
Then, believe me, there will be no long arguments. Because of the guns in the united behind Hitler. Guns always have the last word.
So if our leader Hitler has the first word, and our guns have the last word, it does not matter in the least what anyone else says in between.
But suppose other people have guns.
We shall have more planes.
Planes?
With engines, I suppose.
Oh, yes, with engines. 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. We shall have them.
Oh, why stop at 20,000, old boy?
We won't stop. It is the planes that will carry us into the future. With the roar of engines, the bursting of bombs, our destiny will be fulfilled. One city can be erased in a few hours.
But you need not be afraid, Herr Mitchell. This is not against England.
Oh, thank you very much.
You see, England is helping us, lending us the money to accomplish this.
Oh, Richard, why did we have to leave the Richthofen Club so early? It was such fun.
Diana, dear, I've got to get back to England immediately.
Back to England? But we've got 5 more weeks here.
Not after tonight, darling.
Mitch is right, Diana. The silly blasted fools are going to do it all over again.
Oh, let's forget about it. We're here to have a good time.
No, dear. I've got to get back at once, tomorrow.
I'm sorry I ever suggested coming to Germany, Mitch.
I'm not, Jeff. I'm glad. Now I have a job to do again. A real job. More important than anything I've ever dreamt of before. And more urgent. I'll never forget what they said. Never. 20,000 planes bombing their way into the future. And guns have the last word. They meant it, too.
My dear Mitchell, I know only too well how right you are, but Vickers is an armament firm. We've only got to open our mouths about this, and we'll be attacked on all sides, accused of creating a war scare,
to line our own pockets.
But, Sir Ian, we can't leave England defenseless against Germany's future strength.
Well, what do you propose, Mitchell?
I want to build a fighter. The fastest and the most deadly fighting airplane in the world.
Well, Mitchell, you're right. I'm behind you, and unofficially, Vickers will back you to the limit.
Well, fellows, that was when Mitch's real heartaches began. England was wallowing in a dismal swamp of unemployment, and no member of the government would approve the expenditures necessary